Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Alexiot's here, and it's Wow Wednesday. And I have a couple of things I'm wowing at. First, I want to take a moment to give my condolences and my thoughts and prayers to the family of Brendan Malone, the very first coach of the Toronto Raptors. He was hired by Isaiah Thomas, his good friend from the Bad Boy Pistons era. Uh, Brendan Malone was an assistant coach under Chuck Daly, and then he became the very first coach of our team, the Toronto Raptors. Well, Coach Malone passed away yesterday, and I just want to say my deepest sympathies to his family and friends and the NBA community in general. We've seen glowing eulogies and dedications to him from Raptors media people like Leo Routens, Paul Jones, Doug Smith, Matt Devlin, Mark Jones. We're hearing all kinds of amazing tributes to him and hearing that this man was always kind. This man always had the time to talk basketball and share witty, funny stories, and just was a gem of a person. We knew that Brennan had to step away from traveling with the Denver Nuggets team as assistant coach with his son, Michael Malone, due to health concerns in recent years. But of course, Brennan was always there on the phone to talk to his son and help him with what he saw from far away. This is a sad day for Raptors Nation and Raptors culture. And at least we have the solace of knowing that Brendan was alive when his son won the NBA championship earlier this season with the Denver Nuggets. So all love and respect to Coach Malone. We will all miss you a lot. Yeah. All right. Moving past that part, slowly but surely. I watched the Cairns Taipans game versus the Wizards last night just for a smidge. And I saw what I needed to see in that game, scouting them for Sunday against the Raptors. I don't think we need to worry about them. This isn't going to be like Dallas and Real Madrid yesterday, where they rose up and beat Luca and the Mavs in Spain yesterday. No, Carnes is pretty bad. And the thing is, they don't have a lot of players. They only have like 8 or 9 guys. So they don't have a very long roster. And then the other thing is, they have nobody over 6'9". They have a very, very, very short team. And they're going to get beat bad by us. The Wizards beat them last night, 145-82. Yeah. And the Wizards aren't very good. I'm going to say this right now. The Wizards are not a good team, but they looked real good against Cairns Taipans. So we don't need to worry about them on Sunday. In fact, I am expecting us to hold out some of our main players. Could very well be no Siakam on Sunday, no Scottie possibly, maybe no O.G. I don't know, because we will not need them to play in this game. In fact, y'all coming down there to meet me to go to this game, we're going to have a blast. This game could actually be the end of the bench, just having a good time kicking ass. There may be a lot of Grady Dick on Sunday. There may be a lot of Marquise Noel. There may be a lot of Mohamedou Gueye, a lot of Maker Maker. It makes sense that Maker Maker will be playing against this Australian team because he's an Australian man himself, and it's going to be fun. Now, scouting their team, they have some interesting players. Their most interesting player is a man named Patrick Miller. He's 6'1". He's American, and he is got probably the biggest arms I've ever seen on a basketball player in my life. They're talking about Scoot Henderson being jacked with these huge biceps. No, you got to see this Patrick Miller guy. In fact, this dude has arms like a running back. Like he is literally like Mr. Muscle. It's insane. You're going to see this guy's body, and you're going to be like, okay, he's 6'1", but his arms are bigger than anybody else's on the court. Seriously, he's like that. He's all arms. So, and then, there's other things about this team that are kind of interesting. There are a lot of Americans and college players from the States on the Cairns Taipans. So they do know how to play North American style basketball. One of the players is from Sweden, and he went to high school at Sunrise Academy in Kansas. Well, guess who went to Sunrise Academy in Kansas? Our guy Grady. So there are some ties between the Cairns Taipans and our team. Also last year playing for the Cairns Taipans, their best player was DJ Hogue, who was actually on our summer league team this summer. He is not currently on the Cairns Taipans anymore. So you won't see DJ Hogue playing for them. But yeah, there's some connections here between Cairns and us. There definitely are. They are not a good team, and they have controversy right now. They're under fire for a fight that happened in the NBL in Australia last Saturday night. And guess what? Another Raptor connection involved in this. Aron Baynes, playing for the Brisbane team against them, got in an altercation. He felt like he got fouled hard by the Swedish player, and he was really mad. In fact, I had never seen Aron Baynes so angry, and he wanted to kill people in this altercation. He got so angry, and he was coming at them so much, they had to throw him out of the game. Now, apparently there was a lot of stuff said by Aron and the coach of the Cairns Taipans, Adam. Coach Adam, well, he did something crazy on Saturday night, and he's under a lot of fire. In fact, he may be losing his job soon in the NBL very soon. What he did basically was, when there was an altercation with Baynes and one of his players, they got into it a little bit at halftime in the hallway, in the dressing room. And Coach Adam challenged Baynes to a fight. And basically, he did that whole Clippers and Rockets thing where he hung out outside the locker room waiting for Aron Baynes to come out because he wanted to fight him. This is a crazy story. It's a big, huge news story in Australia. Of course, they're not talking about it over here, but I'm doing the research to figure out our opponent on Sunday, and I hear about this. So, yeah, there's a big beef between the coach of the team we're playing on Sunday and Aron Baynes going on in Australia. And a lot of people around the Australian League are calling for the firing of the Cairns Taipans coach for acting unprofessional and wanting to fight Aron Baynes outside the dressing room on Saturday night. You can't write this shit. I'm telling you, this is just the weird synchronicities of being a Raptors fan, all the Raptors connections every which way. Yeah, very, very interesting stuff there. So there's a little scouting report, pre-scouting report for the game on Sunday. It's going to be a blowout. We're going to see a lot of the end of the bench guys for our team. So come on down and meet me at the arches, the star arches, the rusted star arches out in front of Scotiabank Arena at 4:20 on Sunday afternoon. I will be out there. And I don't care if we talk or you're a regular person on here. If you watch my channel, you know I'm going to be there. You come say hi, Raptors Freak. We'll go into that game together. I'll introduce myself. We'll say hi, and we'll go to this game together. Quite a few of us may be down there. So we'll go down there as a group, and we'll get loud, and we'll have some fun at a game that is very, very much likely going to be a huge Raptors victory. I mean, if they can beat them 145-82 with that team that they have in Washington, seriously, y'all. I know they got Kyle Kuzma. I know they got Jordan Poole now, but in some ways, those are their superstars. I'm telling you, we in some ways do not need Siakam to beat this team on Sunday. And this is a very good opportunity for the Raptors coaching staff, Darko Rajakovic and them, to look at the end of the bench against a team that they can do this with. So there's a little early scouting about the Cairns Taipans, and it was very fun to watch the game. One of my takes from the game last night, because I was also scouting Washington, because Washington, we're going to play them in the preseason also on the a week from this Friday. So I was watching them. One of the people that is really crazy good for them is Bilal Coulibaly. He started for them. And this is the thing. That kid smacks of O.G. Anunoby and Scottie Barnes. In some ways, he looks like Scottie, and he plays like O.G. His first ever NBA points in preseason were basically an O.G. pick six, where he hit the ball out of the hands of the Cairns Taipans point guard, and he ran around him, grabbed it, and dunked it. And, that was so O.G. Anunoby, steal to a dunk. That guy's going to be good. Coulibaly is, Bradley's right. When he was talking about Coulibaly this summer, eyeball testing him and watching him last night against Cairns, this dude is really good. In fact, they may have gotten their own OG down in Washington with Bilal Coulibaly. He really is a real deal OG Anunoby type player, a two-way player to the extreme. And Victor is not the only French phenom that just entered our league. I'm going to tell you that right now. Coulibaly is a real deal too, from my eyeball test. So there's a little early scouting on them. Of course, Daniel Gafford's annoying with his block shots. And, there's some talent on that team, but in some ways they don't have enough. And I don't have any faith in them. I see them being one of the bottom three, Eastern Conference teams for sure this year. So it's going to be very interesting coming up the rest of preseason. Yeah, it's weird. We have so many days off before the next game, not till Sunday. But hey, they will work on more stuff. Watch that film from the game against the Kings and just continue to fine tune and work on things from training camp and getting that system established where everybody feels like they know it and it's like the second nature for them to play that way. All right, let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Good morning to y'all. Always happy to have the Raptor Freak family with me. MSJ's in first. He's saying last night, Fred VanVleet in 25 minutes scored. He had three. Now, that's not right. Field goals attempted. No, he had 3 field goals made and 11 field goals attempted. You have that backwards. 27%. And so someone tell me you miss him. Dennis will be better player, and we dodged $130 million bullets of Fred. Listen, I'm not going to disagree with you. Fred had the stat line that I figure we're going to see from him regularly, just like he did here. I don't know what Rockets fans expect. You're going to get Fred like Fred, and this is Fred. This is exactly Fred. This is nothing new. This is what we expect. They did win the game, and there were good things that went on in that game for the Rockets. So in some ways, Rockets fans can't be too upset, but maybe they're a little worried about a 27% field goal percentage. I don't know. In some ways, sure, we can go and look at him every single game and say, yeah, I'm glad he's gone. But what's the point at this point? Let's just let him go. And it'll come around and we'll hear the noise out of Houston at some point, similar to some of the things that were set up here. Yeah, good morning to you, Chris. Always good to see you. Dana's saying, good morning, everyone. At MSJ, I don't think you will find many Raptor fans that actually miss Fred after that. Well, I do actually. But I don't miss Fred for the on-court stuff. I miss Fred for the culture. I miss Fred for the leadership. I miss Fred for the part and the importance to our franchise during his time that he's here. In some ways, it's real easy to disrespect somebody once they leave. And in some ways, I'll allow it. I don't mind you guys disrespecting him. But in some ways, I don't want to pile on him either because he is a Raptor legend. And in some ways, we don't want him to we don't want to make him look bad. We shouldn't try to. Just let him be who he is, and what happens, so be it. In some ways, I said this. I say, I know he's not going to be successful in the court with wins with the Rockets. So in some ways, I want him to just be successful in life with his money, his family, and his private life. It is what it is. You guys can do this every time he plays, and we'll say, yeah, Fred check. If you really want to, we can do this. But otherwise, I don't see the point. Let's just let him go. And in some ways, I wish him the best. I really do. I really do. MSJ saying at Dana, I couldn't understand the myth following fans of Fred last year. He played for himself. Maybe Nick had him do it. Regardless, he's not bigger than the team. It's the team I cheer, not any player. I can get behind that sentiment. I can agree. But I think you put it in there. You're right. It was Nick. Nick directed them to be like that. Fred's an ultimate team player too. I know he's actually getting really unfairly tainted as being not a team player. He is actually a team player. But the thing about Fred is he has to work within the limits of his physical abilities on the court. And in some ways, his bread and butter is kind of not team conducive. He's not a normal point guard. A lot of times we've said this. He's not truly a point guard. He's more of a shooting guard with a point guard's frame. So in some ways, there's certain stuff that has to be done by other players around him. I love Fred, and we should not sully his accomplishment coming from undrafted G League to NBA champion and all-star. That is amazing, seriously. And a lot of people in down south may start turning on him and dumping on him even more. In some ways, we want to be that old family that is still supportive and loving to him. So, yeah, people will feel sad about this. This is part of the reason why Logical Raptors Fanatic is not on this channel with us right now, because it's sad and it hurts him when y'all diss Fred like this. Seriously. Cool Cat feels very strongly about Siakam. Well, Mike felt really strongly about Fred, y'all. And in some ways, we need to respect our people that do really actually honor and love a Raptor legend like Fred. To a degree, I'm on Mike's side, because I did champion and stand up for Fred a lot last season when everybody was coming after him. And it worked out the way it did. I was sad to see he took the money, but I understand why. So in some ways, let's have some more class than this and just honor our Raptor legend in a positive way. We don't need to mudsling at him now. He didn't hurt us, y'all. He helped us by leaving. So why should we be mad at him? Why should we be mad at him? Is the way I look at it. Yeah. Let's see. Trevor saying, good morning, Raptors family. Good morning to you, Commissioner Jay. Always on the ball with the scores at night. I love it, Trevor. You keeping us up to date. He's saying, watching, he was too slow on the court. Indiana point guards were blowing by him. Yeah, it is what it is. I get it. He has his limitations, but it is amazing what he's accomplished in his career. Seriously, think about what he's accomplished in his career. He was never even supposed to make the team, y'all. Seriously. Seriously. All right. Yeah. You guys watched the first half of that game? Yeah, I didn't watch that one. I watched the Washington game. Isaac's here. Happy Wednesday. We the North. And he's got Darko on blast. I love it, Isaac. Always good to see the benevolent Isaac Campbell in Ottawa. Always happy to see you, my man. Are you on that Scotty Barnes Switch watch for me this week, Isaac? Please raise that alarm if you know that Mr. SB4 is getting on that computer to play some video games and he's twitching with us. I would love the alarm when you raise it. Yeah, Tom Duke is here. Good to see Tom Duke out west coming to Toronto again in November. We're going to be so happy. All right, Tommy's bringing up one of the little things that happened last night. It's very interesting. Did Tice, you spelled it all crazy, so I can't say it right. Did Tice get nutted because he is the world champ? Maybe. I don't know. Playing versus the villain, you might be safer if you're Canadian. We the North. Good morning. Yeah, our guy Villain Dillon doing his thing last night right away. Welcome, Rockets fans. This is your new guys, Fred and Dillon, and this is what they do. This is what they do. This is what Fred does, and this is what Dillon does. Within 5 minutes of the game, he has punched Daniel Tice in the nuts, and he is ejected from the game. In some ways, I love it. In some ways, we were making jokes in the chat last night that everybody's at the strip club and nobody's at the game in Houston. That was Trevor Jay's joke, by the way. And I said, well, maybe Dillon wanted to go to the strip club also. And that's why he needed to get out of the game. So he hit Daniel in the nuts. It's like Mark 2 boxes off the score. He's the world champions and they won the gold and we won bronze. I'm going to give him a little message for FIBA also. And he's out of the game. So he can go to the strip club and join the crowd who wasn't in the building watching the game because they were all at the strip club. Those were the jokes we were making last night. I love Dillon. In some ways, he totally did a dirty thing last night. It was really like he was trying to rip this man's genitals off. The way it looked like he grabbed him and went up. He was like, and Tice is like, whoa, oh, Achtung, referee, Achtung. Yeah, that was crazy. That's crazy, but classic Dillon villain. He's saying that he is being targeted by the NBA in this. He says there's a target on him for this kind of stuff. No, Dillon, no. What you did was egregiously bad as a nut shot. That may have been the most forceful, like intentional nut shot I've ever seen in the NBA. At least back in the day, Chris Kaman got nut shotted. It kind of looked like it was an accident. This one was not an accident. You came right up through. It's like when they tell you to come up with the ball and swing through. Well, you're doing that without the ball. And you're just like, you're making his balls the ball. You're grabbing them and swinging through. That's what it looked like to me, at least with what Dillon did last night. We love you, man. Oh, Canada, we love you. Dillon Brooks, I don't care. Do it. I love villains like Dennis Rodman and Bill Laimbeer from in the past. So I'm going to love Dillon for this, even though it's hilarious. He's not hurting my team. And, the Memphis Grizzly fans are saying, wow, we don't miss this. That's what they're saying about it. They're like, wow, we are so glad Dillon's gone. Under no circumstance can Dillon come back and be on the Memphis Grizzlies. And there you go. That's why. We love our villain, Dillon. We love you, villain Dillon. Yes, Tom Duke is saying, rest in peace, Brendan Malone. Yeah, I knew that his health wasn't so good in the last year or so. And, these things happen and stuff. I really, really feel sad for Michael. I know that this is going to be something like that he is going to inspire him this year to be doing the best damn job he can coaching the Nuggets this year. And, it's just sad for the whole NBA world. He was a part of a lot of different fan bases. He's a part of the Knicks fan base. He's a part of our fan base. He's a part of the Denver fan base. He has ties to Orlando. He has a lot of different ties all around the league. And, the other thing we got to say about Brendan that's so amazing about him, in a time when nobody could stop Michael. Nobody could stop Michael Jordan. Brendan Malone was the guy who knew how to do it the best, and he was the best coach at trying to stop him. He worked so hard with Joe Dumars and Dennis Rodman and John Sally, and really tried to figure out ways where they could try and contain Michael Jordan when they battled him, Pistons versus Bulls. And he was the expert about how to try and contain Jordan. He was the one who had the most success out of the coaches around that time. Chuck Daly would give a lot of credit to his defensive coach, Brendan Malone, who was making those schemes to try and stop Air Jordan. So, yeah, we got to put some more honor and shine on his accomplishments and what he was known for around the NBA. And one of them was he was the one coach that had the secret formula to try and stop MJ. Nobody else had it. It was very much a very unique strategy, and very much nobody else had success. But Malone did to an extent. He very much did. Trevor J saying, today we rise, today we forgive, but we never forget, but we learn a valuable lesson and we move on. Yeah, that's good. That's good. See, everything you experience in your life can be either bad or good. And even the things that are really bad, you can find good in them. So that's the thing. If it's a painful thing, it's a lesson and you learn from it. And hopefully it helps you for the future with that knowledge and wisdom that you gained. So every single experience you have, whether it's positive or negative, you can find the negative or the positive in it, depending on your mindset. And there you go. Sad things like Brendan Malone passing away are sad, but they're inevitable. And in some ways, somebody like Michael Malone, they can find solace in their grief in different ways and find positive things in this whole thing. It could be that we don't know this, and I'm speculating that Brendan Malone was suffering slightly with his health, and now he's no longer in pain. There's always some sort of positive silver lining in every situation. And it's up to you whether you want to focus on that or focus on the really dark, sad shit. Really, really is. Yeah. Cowboys here. Good to see Canadian Cowboy Bradley. Bam. Good morning, Lex and the Raptor Freaks. This year is going to be a blast. Go Raptors. He's got our starting lineup with Darko and Monique up there. I love it. I love it. MSJ saying, so Joel Embiid. All right, let me see it jumped ahead. Let me make sure I get back to that. No. So Joel Embiid, the American now. Yeah, I haven't really commented on this. You know, I will now since Chris brought it up. I think it's such a loser move by Joel Embiid to declare that he's playing for the U.S. in the Olympics. First of all, did they even want you? Well, Steve Kerr said, yeah, he does want him. And he's very happy that he's going to be on Team USA. I think this is a loser move for the U.S., and it's a loser move for Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid, you want everything just handed to you easily? Is that what your life is? Because you are a big dummy loser. And in some ways, this is the loserest move I've ever seen. This is kind of worse than Kevin Durant joining the Golden State Warriors years ago and what that loser move was. This is a similar thing. In some ways, it's very, very loserish. Now, they asked Victor Wembanyama about Joel's decision to play for the U.S. and how it relates to France, because Victor's on Team France. He said, oh, I don't care. We don't need him on our team. I feel bad for the Cameroonians, is what he said. Yeah. See, this is the thing, Joel. You're trying to go the easy route. What kind of fucking role model are you? First of all, you're a hollow wicker man MVP that should never got that award last year. And now you're going to go the cheap, easy way and try and go get a gold medal with them. I hope y'all fail. I hope y'all fail miserably. And U.S., y'all suck too. Y'all need to go get Joel to help y'all. Is that how pathetic your team is? That you need to go and get foreign investments to help you? I thought that was for people like Jordan and Rondé Hollis Jefferson. I thought that was for people like Japan and their American guy who was playing for them at FIBA. I didn't understand that the United States needed help from other countries. Ooh, you need help from Joel, a Cameroonian, and then a Frenchman, and then an American? He's saying some bullshit. I want to do it for my children. Man, you're such a fucking sellout punks. Like, I have less and less respect for Joel Embiid as time goes on. He's such a full of shit, big dummy baby. And the real true Joel Embiid is the one who cried running through the Scotiabank Arena that day when we kicked his ass. That is the true epitome of the man that walks around in this league and they act like he's a golden boy and a superstar. He's a big fake and he's a big loser. And, you know, the way he's doing things right now, in some ways, you should have been taking the challenge. I want to beat the U.S. I would have been fine with you joining France, even though that doesn't totally make sense to me either. You should be playing for Cameroon with Pascal and Koloko, honestly. So yeah, it's a big like loser move. Both for both sides. US, you're losers for wanting him, and Joel, you're a loser for going the easy route. There you go. There's my take on that, Chris. There you go. I think you guys figured that I was going to say that. Top Top's here. Good to see Top Top. Good morning. Rest in peace, Brendan Malone. He overplayed Damon a lot because he wanted to make us a winner instantly, which clashed with management, and he will be missed. You know, in some ways, he only had one shot with us 1 year. He was Isaiah's friend. They gave him a shot, and then, you know, it just didn't happen. And yet, this is true. Malone wanted to win right away, and he did. He won a lot of games in our inaugural season that we probably had no business winning. I had no problem with the way he drove things and put things through Damon. But if other people did and this, and they didn't care about us winning, you know, you also have to realize at that time, Top of Top, nobody cared about the Raptors actually winning. They were just like, they're in the league. We want them to be garbage. In fact, we were kind of brought in to be beat up dummies, like a lesser team that other teams can beat up on, which what the Grizzlies turned out to be. No, we weren't going to have that right away. Brendan was like, we are going to win. We're going to try and win. And that's part of the drive for the city. And this franchise is called the Toronto Raptors to try and win. That was never in the plan of the NBA. They've always wanted us to be an expansion dummy team that got beat up and won 20 to 30 games a year. Well, we went against the script. And that's why we're badasses up here. Everybody down there wanted us to be like that. And in some ways, when Coach Malone was pushing for us to be successful and try and win, that was going against the script for what the NBA wanted for their new Canadian expansion teams. So, yeah, very interesting stuff in that topic there. Yeah. Cowboys saying, yeah, I see that, Tom, that was a hit and lift by Dillon. Yeah, that was a hit and lift for sure. And poor Daniel, he was laughing about it. He was fine. But yeah, some of his comedy. In some ways, Daniel Tice is very familiar with Dillon Brooks and how he does things. So it's not a shock or a big deal that this man is basically molesting him. That was what was happening. This is molesting. In some ways, Dillon could get a charge for sexual assault for what he did yesterday. I mean, seriously, he could maybe get a sexual assault. Yeah, Tom Deuce got the nuts out there. Yeah, the nuts. Tom's saying, I think he even cupped his hands to move as much German junk as possible. This is like blow by blow. We don't need Tom. This is why you can't work with Jack and Matt, because you might say something like this in the broadcast, and everybody be like, Tom, what are you saying? We don't need to hear the blow by blow, like hand on cup of balls call here. That's messed up. We don't need to go in that depth. All right, Evelyn's here. Good to see Granny Evelyn. Good morning, family. A nice weather. Go out and enjoy the sunshine. It's been very chilly over the weekend, but you're saying it's nicer today? All right. I'll have to go check it out after the stream for sure. Always happy to see Granny Evelyn. Monique is here. Good to see superfan Monique Lawrence. Rest in peace, Brendan Malone. Man, oh man, thanks for helping lay down the groundwork for the Raptors. Real ones remember early days were tough, but thank you. Yeah, he was part of that new shine of the team. In some ways, when I think of Brendan Malone and the Raptors, I think of the very, very like opening up the new present on Christmas feeling of the Raptors team at that time. When you go down the Hudson's Bay across from the Eaton Center on Queen Street, they had all the new Raptors gear in there, like the new shirts with the logos. And it's just all so new. And it was like exciting. And like people didn't even realize they were in the NBA. They were like, what is that? They're like, they're an NBA team. They play in the NBA against the Lakers and Magic? Yeah, they do. Wow. It was so cool, that era. And in some ways, he is an embodiment of that era to me. And I know Mo remembers that era very well. And it probably is the same thing for her. The Brendan Malone makes us remember, Damon Stoudemire's rookie year and all the accomplishments of beating the Bulls that year. People like Oliver Miller, Alvin Robertson, Willie Anderson, Ed Pickney. Yeah. I started thinking about those old golden, that first year. In some ways, our first year as a franchise was successful. We got a Rookie of the Year. In our very first year of being in existence, we won the Rookie of the Year. And that's pretty damn impressive, honestly. You don't have any kind of laying groundwork to your season. And our main guy, our rookie, wins the Rookie of the Year. That's a big deal. That's a big deal right there. Yeah. Yeah, MSJ saying plan on it. At Evelyn looks very nice out. Yeah, it does look nice out. It looks like blue skies. Maybe it's a little warmer today. That'd be good. Top of Top saying it's interesting to hear the amount of pushback against Fred's play in this space. Now, when during the season last year, it was felt on, and I felt like I was on an island with maybe a couple of others with my criticism. Well, this is the thing, Top of Top. It's really simple. And I'll explain it once again. We're for the Raptors. I'm positive for the Raptors. In some ways, denigrating our captain in the middle of the season last season was not for the Raptors. Even if your criticism was warranted, I tried to be fair about it. There were different things that were happening out on the court that I didn't feel like pointing the finger directly at Fred was smart. I just felt like in some ways, yeah, this isn't working and there's some things that are problems. If you want me to say you were right, I can say that if you really want those jollies. But in some ways, you should hate that you were right. You should hate you were right. That's what I'll say right now. You and Robert and the people that were trying to push him out last year during the season, you should hate that you were right. You shouldn't be gleeful or happy or saying, oh, I told you so. You shouldn't be like that. And that's the difference right there. I'm for the Raptors. And if they're currently Raptors, I'll stand up for them, even if I'm wrong. Even if I'm wrong. And there you go. Evelyn saying, sounds good, Chris. All right. And Cowboys saying, rest in peace to Brendan Malone. Trevor saying, Dillon Brooks, the fastest play time on record under 5 minutes. He was playing for the Rockets in preseason. This isn't even regular season. This man's getting kicked out in under 5 minutes. He's like, welcome to the Rockets. Here you go, Rockets fans. This is your new player, Dillon Brooks. This is what he does. You get him for 4 minutes, and then he's out of the game, and he's not coming back. So good. Cowboys saying, good morning, Granny Swag. Bam. And MSJ saying at top, I was with you, bro. The myths die hard in people's minds. Well, once again, listen, it's not constructive, like in the middle of the season, like around December or January, to tear down Fred within our fan base and be part of that noise. I stood up for him against y'all, and I'm glad I did. I won't take that back. Because I was right in some ways for the team. You all weren't helping things. Y'all were part of the negative noise that hurt our team last year. And that is what I'll say about this. Yeah, sure, you were right. But once again, how good do y'all feel about that? Seriously. You really want those kudos for that? Seriously. And I'll do that again this year. If we have some sort of issue with our team, I will be trying to do the positive spin and protect our people more than tearing down and destroying and ruining things for our team in some ways. In some ways, I don't want to be part of that chorus that makes things worse. And that is the difference here. Part of it is y'all are getting ahead of things and you're trying to be the one that makes things happen. I'm the reactor. I watch and I let Bobby and Masai do the job. And when things come and pass, like Fred leaving, then I assess things afterwards. And at this point, yes, we can talk about Fred in the way y'all wanted to last year. But I didn't want to fucking do it in the middle of the 82-game season. Forgive me for trying to protect the team and help them to win more instead of tearing them apart. So there's the difference right there, guys. And sure, you want kudos, you want cookies, I'll give you fucking cookies. I'll give you dunks. Y'all get dunks for being right last year about Freddie. There you go. You feel good? You get those dunks. There you go. MSJ, you get a dunk. Top of Top, you get a dunk for being right about Fred. There you go. You feel good about that? You feel good about that? I'm half joking here, but in some ways, this is the way I look at this with this. Y'all want to be right? That's fine. Be right. But at what cost? At what cost? Losing our coach and losing our point guard? Well, the right moves, but still, it was a cost. It was a cost. Evelyn saying, good morning, Bradley. Yeah, ta-da, services around the greater Toronto area. If you need a job done around your house, Bradley and his brother will come to your house. Just look them up on the internet and you can find them. There's advertising out there too. Ta-da services. They can help you with all kinds of things. Trust me, you need an odd job. It could be really odd, very odd. These guys are odd. They will come and help you with odd things. That's right. That's right. Cowboys got the golf course out and the Mug Brothers. I love it. Yes, you guys are the Mug Brothers. Yeah, MSJ saying, I'm not a huge golf fan, but it is what they want to do. I just try to play functionally. I can't play golf. I have something wrong with my arm that doesn't allow me to do swinging sports. Like I can't play baseball either. Anything that where I have to swing with both hands, I can't. I can't do it. So I can't play golf. So it's not a sport that's ever interested me. I played golf a few times when I was very young, when I could still play it. But when I had my accident when I was 18, I destroyed my arm, and I cannot use my arm correctly because of it. That's a little secret. Not a lot of people know, and I've never talked about it on here. This left arm is messed up. I cannot extend it fully. I have not been able to for almost 25 years. So in some ways, I can't play golf. But you guys go have fun. Tristan's here. Good to see you, Tristan Phipps, dropping in and saying hi to us. Yeah, hopefully we can go deeper into the lineup. I think we will. Sunday we should. We really should. They are not a good team. They're not a threat. In fact, they're in some disarray because of this controversy with Aron Baynes. They really are. They have a lot of distractions for being in the United States trying to play Washington and Toronto. So, yeah, they have a lot of distractions. Cairns is for the taking. Let's just put it that way. Top saying, yeah, at MSJ, I remember you and a few others. Real ones aren't afraid to face the fire first and jump through the door before others follow. You can describe it that way, top, but that's bullshit. Real ones stand by their team. They don't stab their players in the back in a heartbeat. So yeah, your fucking perception on this is all fucked. Like I said, you've already heard what I said to you. I gave you some dunks. You might want to review your comments going further. Let's not do celebration dances about Fred anymore, all right? I will start giving dunks. And if I hear this tired song all year because Fred's not doing well for Houston, yeah, you're not going to last around here. Because as much as I hated it last year, I'm going to hate it even more now because it's unnecessary. And in some ways, you just want a pat on the fucking back. Is that what you want? You just want a fucking pat on the back like Robert Pensair's getting right now for the same shit? See, that's the thing. Don't ever go with him. As soon as you're with him and like that, you can think you're a hero for this. Like, oh, only a few dared. And it's like, fuck you. You did the cowardly thing last year. You went along with everybody. You weren't the minority. You fucks were the majority. I was in the minority standing up for our team against y'all still. Even if. So what if I was wrong? It wasn't the right time for y'all to come at him. And y'all were fucking wrong for it at that time. You can come at him now. He's done. He's not on our team. This is fine now. But in the middle of the fucking heat of the battle, fuck you for hurting our team last year and thinking you deserve kudos for it. How about that? Seriously, you think you're some of the few that jumped in the fire? What kind of fucking bullshit is that you're talking about? Seriously, you should not be proud about how you treated Fred last year. You should not. And I'm fucking really seriously getting pissed. If y'all start doing your rah-rah dance, y'all, about this shit, I'm fucking going to give y'all strikes. Seriously. Fiercey saying, good morning, fam. Happy Wednesday. I briefly watched the Taipans and Wizards. So did I. I had seen enough by 8 to 10 minutes. Yeah, see, she's like me. I was the same way. Rooting for Jordan Poole to do great in Washington. I'm not for that, though. But listen, very interesting game. And I'm sure Fiercey saw some of the same things I saw. That Cairns ain't shit. And Washington's not that good either. You know, they look good against them, but of course they have their tallest guy 6'9", and they have no depth. And meanwhile, Washington was playing 1 through 21. They played every single person on their training camp roster, and the other side had like 8 guys, and they're trying to like keep up with all the new energy and the way better talent and the better team. Yeah, it wasn't even fair. So you can't really gauge Washington too much on this. In fact, my eye test told me that they suck. They suck. They just blew out a team that's really bad. They blew out the Washington Wizards of the Australia League is what it looked like to me. So, yeah, I'm not scared of either one of those teams. We should beat both their asses, especially Cairns, though. Yeah, Cowboys saying golfing isn't that fun to watch, but I enjoy playing it. Haven't been for years. Have fun, bro. There you go. It's golf. And Chris is saying, I catch flack, but I don't care. I trust what I see out there. And in the flow of the game, at times, too many times, Fred was selfish. I also saw the future in that Hawks game. Okay, once again, you want fucking cookies? You want cookies? You want strikes? Or you want dunks? You're going to get one of those 3 very soon if y'all keep this fucking bullshit up. You think I want to fucking talk about Fred all throughout my fucking streams, y'all? Seriously. Pick and choose when you want to bring him up. And we ain't doing this all year. Seriously. If I see you guys bringing in Fred's stat line every fucking day, yeah, we're going to have a problem, Chris. We're going to have a problem. So seriously, just get off the Fred tip in general. There's no reason to come at him. He's a Raptor legend. And if y'all keep sullying our good Raptor legend in his absence after he's gone away, yeah, I'm going to be pissed at y'all. Seriously, because I do like Fred. I love Fred. I fucking stand with Fred. And y'all gonna fucking come at him like this? I'll do a little bit of it. But in some ways, it doesn't help anything. You're continuing to do destructive, negative shit, is what I'm saying. And we're trying to be positive here and protect and love our legends. And Fred is a legend on our team. And y'all aren't fucking helping anything. All y'all sound like is just like, I was right. I was right. He was shitty. I don't give a fuck if y'all were right. It doesn't matter. Do you feel good that you were right? You really feel good? You're saying like, I catch flack, but I don't care. Well, you're going to catch more flack if you keep doing this, Chris. And I don't give a shit if you're mad at me for this. I'm sick of the Fred bashing. I was sick of it last year, and I'm sick of it now. We can say, yeah, he had a Fred game last night. Okay, that's fine. Move on. But if y'all fucking feel like writing 10 comments every day about Fred, yeah, I'm going to start striking y'all out. I'm going to have a zero bashing Fred policy at some point. And I may warn people that they're not here today hearing me, but I'm not going to warn y'all at some point very soon, is what I'm going to say right now. There's no point in coming after Fred at this point. Seriously. Cowboys saying Dillon was trying to alley-oop the nuts. Yeah, maybe just a little bit. Yeah. Tristan saying, laugh out loud. Interesting, fine. And Fiercey saying, Dillon Brooks being ejected in less than 10 minutes in the game yesterday. Yeah, that was classic Dillon Brooks. So what do we expect? Cowboys saying, good for you, bro. What's your pre-workout lifting your mug? Pre-lift. All right. Trevor saying the Chicago Bulls agreed to trade for James Harden. Don't fuck with me. Trevor J. Seriously, this better be real. If you're fucking around and saying some shit that's not true, don't fuck with me. Seriously. Where is it? If that's a real fucking thing, don't write the rumors in here. Seriously, you're not trading him there. Where is it? Is there really a fucking story, Trevor? Give me the fucking reality. Seriously, I'm feisty today. We lost our first coach and fucking bullshit is happening right now. In fact, I'm going to tell you what I'm really pissed off about very soon in a second. But Trevor, don't fucking put bullshit rumors in our chat unless they're real, man. Don't put that bullshit in there. Monique is saying, let's get it, Raptors. Always focus on what's in front of us. That's right. I'm all about that. Thank you, Moon. That's right. Let's focus on what's in front of us instead of fucking Fred. He's in our rear view, y'all. What the fuck? Yeah. Cowboy saying, I agree, Lex. We should play a lot off the bench. I agree with that. I think we should too. Cool Cat saying, good morning, Raptor Free Crew. Missed yesterday. It was a crazy day at work. I hope we Raptor fans don't diss Fred online. He's our NBA champion. I saw some laughing on our timeline. Let's keep it respectful. Yeah, this is what I'm trying to say right now. Cool Cat's already ahead, and she's on the same page as me. Seriously, y'all, it doesn't benefit us to denigrate our legends when they leave. I mean, I'd have more respect for you denigrating Vince Carter than Fred VanVleet. I'd have more respect for you denigrating Chris Bosh than denigrating Fred VanVleet. So just stop, please. Just stop. It doesn't help us and our legacy and the legend and the real truth about Fred when you guys are like this. Seriously, let Houston turn on him and do their thing on their own. He's going to have a hard enough time finding allies soon enough. And I don't want to be one of his fucking enemies. I love the man and I want to protect him still, even though he doesn't play for us. Sure, it's great. Now he can go down and hurt Houston instead of us. I'm just saying, y'all, be careful about how gleeful you are about Fred's failures. Is what I'm saying. Tristan saying, do we want to see Fred do well in Houston? And so I don't want Houston to do well, but I want Fred to be all right and do well. Yeah. In some ways, I know he's going to get criticism for his contract no matter what. And it's coming. And in some ways, some Raptors fans are going to be very ugly and gleeful about this. And some will be like Cool Cat and I and be like, you know what? We love him. And it doesn't matter. We're so proud of him and his ascension in the NBA on our team. And, well, if he's descending now with the Rockets, so be it. Good job, Masai Ujiri and Bobby Webster, for moving on from him or him moving on from us, and it just worked out real well. Seymour saying, Fled VanVleet. All right, MSJ saying, I won't do Fred VanVleet checks, maybe once a month, laughter aloud. You know, if it matters, like if it's something of note and it's not just like a daily thing, like if something big happens with Fred and it's a story, like something like Ben Taylor, or something like interesting, we can talk Fred. But in some ways, I don't want to do this. I seriously don't. I don't want to champion him when he has a huge, big game either. And I don't want to sully him when he doesn't have a good game. In some ways, he has nothing to do with us at this point, other than his linkage to being playing with us before this. He's doing his own thing now. And in some ways, I do wish him success. But I don't want his team to be good. I want his team to fail. That's for damn sure. Yeah. Fiercely saying, I was able to rewatch the game and paid attention to Malachi. I agree with Lex. He needs to step it up. To be fair, he was not given much opportunities. So I'll go with David and hope he'll make the most of it in the upcoming games. Yeah, we want to see Malachi succeed too. In some ways, I'm on him and down on him. See, this is the thing. In some ways, I'm down on Malachi because I saw him missing open shots and not taking some opportunities that he could have in the game against Sacramento. That's a criticism to try and encourage him to be better. That's not just saying, oh, he sucks, get rid of him. I know some of the people were saying that the other day, but in some ways, we're fed up with him because we've given him a lot of time and it's just not been like progressing. And that's what's frustrating with Malachi for sure. So hopefully we see some progress and something happen in the next few games for sure. Yeah. Tristan's laughing at Seymour. Let's see. Fiercey's also saying, I truly noticed how the pace was much faster. It was refreshing and magnificent to watch and hear the squeaky sneakers. Yeah, I'm all about that. I'm all about that, Fiercey. I love the faster pace with Dennis. I think this is a big change that's better for the Raptors. Can we talk about it from that angle that we love Dennis and that we like the change that Dennis is going to be running our team? Can we talk about the positive side of it instead of talking about the other side? How about that? Nuggets fan saying Fred did a lot for your team. He deserves a lot of respect from Antonian. See, I'm going to give Nuggets fan a dunk. This is Nuggets fan. Seriously. We should not be sullying him. In some ways, he's our fat lever. Let's just put it that way. He's our fat lever, and in some ways, we need to respect and love him for that. You know, Fat Lever was an important nugget, and I don't see Nuggets fans dissing Fat Lever. You know, why would you do that? So, Nuggets fan, respect for saying that, man. Seriously, he did a lot for our team, and we need to put more respect on him. Seriously, y'all. Just because he's crusty, he's like gothic. Somebody called him gothic. He's so gothic. What the fuck does that mean? You think he's sitting at home wearing black makeup and black, and he's just all, he's so gothic. Is that an insult? Gothic's a very interesting age with architecture and art. And Gothic people, some of them are very cool. I know a lot of good Gothic people in downtown Toronto. I used to hang out in the goth scene. That was the weirdest crack on Fred. I was like, he's so Gothic. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? Seriously, Gothic. He's because he's so dark. I don't know. It could be it. Monique is saying this. I appreciate you, Nuggets fan, big time coming through with that one. Top of top, regardless of what you think of Brendan Malone, we are remembering him. That's right. We're remembering our guy. Fiercely saying, what's crazy is that Dillon has defensive skills, but his attitude will give the team problems when he'll be needed. So glad we have the 2024 Defensive Player of the Year, O.G., who sticks to doing his job. No dirty work. Yeah, I hope he wins the Defensive Player of the Year. They did the GM survey recently again. It's so full of shit. Like, honestly, it kind of makes me mad. Now, we were a couple places on it. Our coach is considered one of the coaches that's most likely to have an impact out of all the new coaches on new teams. They did the survey, and Coach Darkovich got 2 votes out of all the GMs. Nick didn't get a single vote. So that's very interesting in that respect. Nick did not get a single vote for like making a good positive impact on his team. In fact, they don't know how the Sixers are going to be this year. In the GM survey, they were saying the team that's most hard to figure out is the Sixers, is what they're saying. We have no idea if they're going to be better with Nick or they're going to be worse. And that's interesting to me. That's very interesting to me. Meanwhile, Darko's got the best the chances, just like Adrian Griffin. They're saying Adrian Griffin and Darko Rajakovic have same chance to the same amount of people think that they're going to be impactful for their team. The other ones where we were on the, once again, one of the best home court advantages with the crowd, except we were like tied for 5th, which is kind of bullshit. And then OG's nowhere on any of the defensive like surveys, which is absolutely oversight and messed up. Now, there really is a perception war out there where these GMs are trying to sully OG's value and make it low so it's easier to pry from us. I really do feel like that's what it is. If these GMs are in like thinking about their GM world and trying to make deals, we're like, well, we can't put more shine on OG because his value will increase, and then it'll be harder for us to try and trade to get him from Toronto. Could it be that simple that these guys exclude OG from defensive things on the GM survey just because they want to devalue his value in the perception of the NBA's world? Seriously, it could be that bad. This is the same kind of bullshit as the press deciding whether Pascal gets all NBA and he gets a supermax contract. There can be some manipulation through those kind of things with press and GMs doing these kind of shit. That's why I don't take any stock in that GM survey and all the bullshit they put out yesterday with all those numbers and names and shit. Fuck all that bullshit. Doesn't mean shit. That's right. There you go. Let's see. Monique saying, I saw that Aron Baynes story. Wow. I'd never seen Aron Baynes so angry. There were a couple times in the Tampa season where Aron got a little riled up, but nothing like this. This dude was ready to kill someone, and they were literally holding him back, coming at them. In some ways, he was way out of pocket. Aron Baynes probably really, in some ways, like I know the guy maybe hit him hard. It could have been that really strong guy. He hit him hard and it hurt him, and he got really mad. And he was the one who went out of bounds first. But then the coach of the Taipans was even worse later behind the scenes because he went and he wanted to fight him behind in the back. So, yeah, it's a crazy story. And there's controversy around this Australian team we're going to play on Sunday. David saying, what happened, Mo? Did he learn how to catch a basketball? See this once again. There's no reason to diss Aron Baynes like this, David. Seriously, I feel bad for the guy. He's been a butt of the joke around Raptors Nation because of the Tampa season. And he does not deserve that. In fact, he came in and tried to help us to the best of his ability. He failed. It's true. But there's no reason to kick this man while he's down. And then he went and he almost died in a Japanese hospital shortly after his Raptors part of his career. Yeah, man, I gotta say this, y'all. We need to stop kicking people that have been a part of our franchise. They're good people, and we should be honoring them instead. I know that Aron Baynes did not have any accomplishments with us, but the man almost died. And in some ways, I feel really bad about what happened to him after the Raptors stuff with us. In some ways, there's other nations out there that said the way we treated Aron Baynes means that we should never, ever get to win again. And I'm telling y'all, we need to start being a better fan base and stop being so toxic. And the way you treat Fred and the way you treat Aron Baynes is toxic, y'all. Seriously, it's toxic. The man almost died. I have nothing against Aron Baynes. He was a victim of circumstance. He was there trying to help us in one of the worst years of the Toronto Raptors history. And in some ways he failed, yeah, but he tried. And that's what I'll give him. He tried and he was there for us, even though he wasn't able to do it. So I gotta stop this, y'all. Y'all are fucking going after Raptors. Go after Embiid. Go after Tatum. Go after people around the league. Don't go after our fucking Raptors people. Seriously, y'all. Seriously, let's stop this. Fiercely saying Embiid knows joining Team USA is the only way to win. What a disgrace to the Cameroonian. Yeah. Yeah, like that is seriously something to criticize and like look down on the decision by Joel Embiid to play for the U.S. You know, it's interesting. The U.S. people are saying everybody who's saying they want to play for U.S., they're not going to play for us. There's a lot of big name stars that have said, I'd like to play for U.S. They want to go and play in Paris. But Steve Kerr and them are saying, well, some of these people are saying it. They're not going to get spots. We're going to have to see who they are. I'm pretty sure Fred and Danny Green are two of them, but there may be some big names. Like you may be shocked that like they say, we don't want you, LeBron, or we don't want you, Kevin Durant. They could easily say that because they're like, you guys are too old. You already had your time. And just because you want to come in right now doesn't mean we want you for the team. So this could be an interesting controversy leading up to the Paris Olympics, how the USA picks who wants to play because everybody wants to play now. Everybody wants to play. David's saying he's a disgrace of a basketball player and a human being. Yes, and he means Joel Embiid, and I agree with that. MSJ saying, a Nuggets fan, as I see it, Fred is no longer a Raptor. I go by who is on the team. Old players on other teams, for me, forgotten. Laugh out loud, harsh, yes. All right, you can do how you want to do it, Chris, but I don't agree with you in that way. Now, it depends on how they left. This is the thing. Vince Carter is still dead to me because of the way he left. Kyle Lowry, DeMar DeRozan, Fred VanVleet, they didn't leave in bad ways. So I have no problem with it. If you want to, all right, if you're saying you want to just forget them, then don't bring them up. That's what I'm saying. You cannot bring up his stat line if you just want to forget him. Once again, the proper way to deal with Fred, if you're a real Raptors fan, is to honor and love him and respect him. He's going to have his jersey retired in our arena at some point. And y'all need to give him respect in that kind of way, to realize that he may be one of the three jerseys up there first with the number 10 and the number 7. So in some ways, seriously, Nuggets fan is exactly right on this. If you want to forget about him, then don't bring him up ever again, Chris. You want to be that way, just don't bring him up, negative or positive. All right, please. I have no problem with you being that way. It's just that walk the walk. If you're not going to bring him up, don't bring him up. Is what I'm gonna say. Mo's saying Aron and his coach want to brawl it out. David, yeah, it's not his coach. He was on the other team, and he wanted to fight the coach of the team we're playing this Sunday. Yeah, he's on Brisbane, and it was the coach and the other team that want to fight him. Aron was like, I'll kick his ass, I'll smoke him. But no, that coach wanted to come and fight him, is what was happening. So that's why he's in trouble. Fiercely saying, since it's preseason, I'm hoping Dillon's flagrant 2 will not be accounted. I believe there's a fine after a certain number. I don't know. They probably will count it because it's accrued stuff. Yeah, let's not worry about this too much. This is small potatoes to him. He wouldn't do this kind of behavior if he's really worried about these kind of things. He's going to get ejected this year. We know he will. He's going to get ejected. Quick Takes us here. Good morning, Lex and the Raptor Freaks. Good morning to you, NBA Quick Takes. When did he pass? Brendan Malone passed away yesterday. Yeah, he actually did pass away yesterday. The original first coach of the Toronto Raptors. MSJ is saying, have to disagree, Lex. We were not part of the team. Fred was, and he was not playing within the team, calling it out, asking for team ball while he was on the team. No apologies. Thanks for the dunk. Yeah, well, that's fine. We can disagree, but I think I made my point. And if you didn't understand it, you may find out later that you didn't understand it. So heed my warnings. That's basically what I'm saying, in particularly with Mr. VanVleet. How about that, Chris? And in some ways, listen, like I said, I'm giving my time every day, and I don't want this to become like half hour of Fred bashing show. That's not what we're fucking doing here. So, it's maybe a little bit different way of looking at things between you and I. But remember, this is my time also. And in some ways, you guys can come in and talk about whatever you want in the chat. But in some ways, at a certain point, I'm going to say, this is a broken record. I'm fucking sick of hearing it, is what I'm going to say. There you go. There you go. So Tom Duke's saying, why though? Why though? Why? Why? Why are you this way against Fred? Seriously. Kareem saying, Fred VanVleet is awesome. He was a great player on and off the court. Unfortunately, he went on separate ways as the team took another direction. But make no mistake, it's always bet on yourself. Fred is iconic, 30 for 30. That is exactly what I want to hear from our fans. That is exactly what I want to hear. Kareem Thomas is on point, and this is why he is the dunk champion, because he is on point, and that is exactly right. That is exactly right. It does a disservice to our franchise and our legacy and our history and our great players to kick Fred now. Seriously. In some ways, it was a disservice last year, too. Seriously. Quick Take saying, why y'all got such a hard on for Fred? Why are you guys so mad at him? It's not that we have a hard on. We like Fred. Fred is a part of our history. In fact, he may be the most important undrafted player in the history of the NBA. And in some ways, that is something that's getting overlooked by the general NBA in a lot of cases. Some people get it. They see his path and they measure it towards Moses Malone and Ben Wallace. But some people are totally going over their heads. And in some ways, we need to continue to champion that. I don't care Fred's playing for who, whatever. In some ways, Fred is somebody, like, after we're all said and done, we're going to love up here in Toronto, and he's going to come back and he'll be a part of our team. Y'all want to make it even worse by piling on him? There's already fans that threatened the death of his mother. And how bad a look is that? Y'all go in those directions when you're coming at him like that. I put you in the category with the person that told Fred death threats to his mother, Sue Danforth. So that's what I'm saying, y'all. Don't be a part of that side of the noise, because you're on the wrong side if you're doing that. You can act like you're right, and maybe you are right because of your basketball tactics and philosophies and thinking about it all. Oh, you're selfish. But what's the point at this point? What is the point? What Kareem is saying is more where we should be. Seriously. What is the point? Fiercely saying, my issue with Fred were the cryptic messages and hanging out with Clutch Entourage. I sensed the writing was on the wall, and it really bothered and hurt me. Sorry to be intense, fam. It's all good. And I don't mind y'all working out how you feel about this. But once again, I don't want to do this year. We talked too much negatively about Fred last year, and it was wasting time on my stream. We talked way too much about that idiot Pansera on here, wasting time on my stream. And I just don't want to waste any more time on my stream with this kind of stuff. So in some ways, this is housekeeping right here. I want Logical Raptors Fanatic to come back here and be a part of my channel. And y'all talking shit about Fred all the time is part of what drove him away. Just so y'all fucking know. I know for a fact that's the truth. It was a little bit of talking shit about Nick and a little bit of talking shit about Fred. And those were two people he very much liked a lot. And it hurt that they left. And that's why Mike's not been on the channel, y'all. Just so y'all know. Just so y'all know. Quick Take saying, that is wrong. I stand with Lex on this, 100%. That's right. Thank you. Top saying, Lex, I wanted Fred to play better instead of acting blind to how he was playing. He's an intelligent player capable of changing his play, but he chose not to. Well, once again, Top, with all due respect, how much of that was Nick Nurse directing those guys to be like that? We're seeing a very different behavior by Pascal this year. And in some ways, the stuff that was happening with Fred was happening with Pascal also last year. We could fairly criticize that in some ways Siakam was being selfish also. And, it's not that he wanted to be. It's not that he inherently is. It's that Nick was pushing these guys to be that way. I really do truly believe that. They are soldiers, and they get their orders from their general, and their general is their coach. And it's not them. In some ways, Fred may be like, he was eating it up. In some ways, he was like, yeah. And in some ways, Fred got exactly what Pascal wanted last year, too, but he didn't get it. Fred got it all lined up. Nick wanted to ramp them up and give them bigger paydays. That may have been intentional by Nick. In some ways, he wanted to get these guys back for their championship and the things that happened. And he's like loyal. So he said, I'm going to overplay Fred and Pascal this year, and hopefully they can both get huge paydays. That was very much part of Nick's scheme and why he did that. You can tell after this. And he was successful with Fred. Fred's making $43 million a year. Well, Siakam didn't get all NBA. And it didn't happen for him, though. So in some ways, this is what I'm saying, y'all. Tom Duke saying he chose or Nick chose. Regardless, both are long gone, part of some other team somewhere else. And we'll see them when they come back. Freddie's going to come back in February, and Nick's going to come back very soon on the 28th of this month. So we'll see these guys opposing us very soon. And then, listen, we can talk shit about them when we play them. I'm okay with that. That's normal. But just for no reason, it's no reason to do it. Let's see. Stargate saying, Lex, don't even waste energy on these adolescents, bro. I'm not going to call these guys adolescents. I met MSJ in person. He is a grown man. He's a very good guy, and I respect him. And maybe I'm being a little harsh on these guys right now, but I want to prove a point that I don't want to do this year is basically what's happening. They're calling themselves real ones. Should tell you all you need to know about them. It's all about feed these personal egos, ignore the prattle. It doesn't have to be like that, Stargate. In some ways, let's not go like that. In some ways, I get it. They really feel like they're doing the best thing for the team in that kind of way by being overly critical and coming at them and saying this is how you can fix it. In some ways, the noise did help last year because change happened and we got a better team for this year. So, I mean, there's two ways of looking at this. And I get it. I get it. The whole term real ones is very much thrown around on social media and on this channel in a lot of different ways. And in some ways, I like to think we're real ones here, and they're real ones too. It's just that I don't want distinguishing like this or this. In some ways, it's when you're behind your team 100%. That's when you're a real one. And in some ways, the actions of both sides, or in some ways, I can argue that there are both behind the team 100%. So it's just a different way of coming at it. But yeah, in some ways, I don't want to insult them either. These are grown men, and I do respect them. It's just that we're disagreeing right now. Top saying this season, the play will be better simply based on ball movement and pushing of the pace to benefit the young players. See, I love this. Instead of like doing this, be like Scott, be like Scottie. They gave him the chance to bash Fred in the interview, and he chose not to. Let's be more like that, And this is what Top saying. He's turning the other leaf, and he's saying this is what it's about this year. And that's what I'm talking about. Let's talk about the good stuff about coming up instead of looking back and kicking the can down the street from last year. There's no reason to do that. And Top, thank you for this statement here. I think that you're exactly right. The ball movement's going to be way better and our pace is going to be better. And in some ways, the games will be much more enjoyable to watch. And hopefully we'll see some guys get some real good development leaps this year. Quick take saying, rest in peace, Brendan Malone. Yeah, it's sad. It's a sad day for Raptors Nation right now. That's partly why I'm emotional. And let me tell you all the other reason why I'm pissed off right now. There's an article out this morning from MLSE. And, they recently announced that they're not going to do the WNBA, which pisses us all off. And instead, they're going to do a $350 million renovation to the Scotiabank Arena. In some ways, I question, is this really necessary? Is this really necessary to put that much investment into the building like that? The building is still in really good shape and has all the great amenities and all kinds of stuff. In some ways, this smacks of the bullshit that the Rogers Center just did recently with renovating the Rogers Center. And I'm like, look, is this really necessary? Well, I found out something new about what these renovations are going to be about. They want to replace concession workers with AI. And it pisses me so much off. This is a job that I worked at for a while. People are going to lose jobs to this bullshit. They want to make it like Shoppers Drug Mart for you. When you go to the Scotiabank Arena, you grab something and you just tap something and then you get it. And they cut all employees out. That's what I'm saying. This is the direction our society is moving towards, replacing all of us in our jobs with AI. And this pisses me the fuck off. In fact, I get mad when I go to Shoppers Drug Mart now and I see that none of the cashiers are there anymore. And they expect me to fucking check out my own shit. In some ways, I'm going to start boycotting places that don't employ people in those kind of historical jobs. In some ways, there's all kinds of bullshit that comes from AI checkouts and self checkouts that they're going to have to deal with, whether it is an increased shoplifting or people just walking off with shit. I would do it. I don't do that shit, but I understand why people do it if they're in trouble and they don't have a lot of money and it's like that. The other thing is, what do you do when you don't have any help? Sometimes the machines are fucked up. There's going to be all kinds of fucking problems with these kind of systems and things will fall through the cracks. There won't be better service. Somebody's out of a job. I hate this shit. I hate this shit. It started when I was 16 years old and I had a job in a gas booth. And I was pumping gas at a full service gas station. Well, they replaced me with a computer at that point, at some point. They're replacing so many different jobs around the world in different ways with AI and different things. And the fact that MLSE wants to replace people and paying people to just have a computer do the shit for them, it really pisses me off. In fact, this is a lot of where my anger is right now, is that people that I know that still work down at that building, like Sadie Campbell, are going to be losing jobs because of this direction. And it pisses me off. I'm sorry. That's part of my anger right now. And I may have misdirected against these people that are being critical of Fred right now. But can you understand why I'm mad? And in some ways, I'm going to boycott. If I'm at the Scotiabank Arena, I'm not going to go buy anything from a fucking AI counter. Fuck that shit. And in some ways, we can be more powerful as a whole and collective as a society if we reject these kind of innovations that take jobs away from people. So that's where I'm at with that. Seriously, it pissed me off. Seriously, when I saw that this morning, that article, I'm like, oh, they're investing 350 million into making AI concessions. That's fucked up. That is fucked up. I'm sorry. Yeah. All right, let's see. Ooh, excuse me. Oh, crazy. All right, let me see. All right, I gotta make sure I don't miss any comments because it jumped ahead a really just a little bit here. Okay. All right, hang on. I'll make sure I don't miss any comments. I don't see. Okay, here's where I'm at. Okay, Fiercey saying, agreed. Our starters can rest on Sunday, and Darko can give the second and third units the opportunity to play and assess who will sadly be cut. Yeah, this is important, and this game smacks of this kind of game. So if that turns people off from coming to the game with me on Sunday, it shouldn't. If you're really a deep like into what seeing the deep bench is going to be like, this is a good game to go to. You may not see a lot of Scottie, you may not see a lot of Pascal, but you'll see a lot of Javon Freeman Liberty. You'll see a lot of Mohamedou Gueye, a lot of Marquise Noel, and a lot of Grady Dick, I'll bet also. So please, I'm inviting y'all. You want to come to the Raptors game with me on Sunday, 4:20 outside in Jurassic Park near the columns. I'll be standing out there, and we'll go in and get tickets all together. We'll buy them on site. Don't buy them ahead of time. Come down there, and we'll get them all together so we can sit with each other. Yeah, Seymour saying, Brendan Malone will truly be missed. Raptors, rest in peace. Raptor in peace. I like that, Seymour. I like that. Stargate saying, I want to see Malachi do well, but he's gotten a lot of chances and taking up a spot that someone who really wants it could have it. I want to see him be successful. It's tough. I just want to see him break through somehow, some way. And it seems like he's close. That's why part of it's frustrating. We see like certain things about him that look promising, and then it's like, at some point it's just like, yeah, it's the same old fucking Malachi. And then that's annoying. That is annoying. In some ways, it's sad because he came in the league around the Tampa year and he didn't really get a proper rookie year. And I'm wondering if that hurt him in some ways. The fact that his rookie year was the Tampa year, and there was a lot of different things that didn't happen for him in the right way, like whether it was 905 properly or, just in general, the whole season was kind of compacted and weird and in another place. So yeah, I feel bad for Malachi in a way, but he needs to step up and do it. That's the only thing. Seymour saying, Fiercey, who you think will get cut? It's tough decisions. Well, in some ways, it's too early to do this. I want to see some more preseason games, but we should probably maybe do a Thursday think tank on this. So maybe we'll do it tomorrow. That may be our subject tomorrow, Seymour. But I think it's too early. We got to see more still. Stargate saying, hold on there, Lex. Fred ain't nowhere close to Fat Lever. Laugh out loud. Lever was a triple-double machine. Well, in some ways, I'll say this. I just picked a Denver Nugget legend. And in some ways, Fat Lever is not a champion. In some ways, Fat Lever does not have the franchise record for points in a game. In some ways, Fat Lever did not come from undrafted. I just picked a random short guy. Maybe I should have said Michael Adams. Maybe that's a better Denver Nugget legend to compare Fred to, since they're both small guys. And Michael Adams was Mighty Mouse back in the day, too. So, maybe Michael Adams is the better Nuggets legend to compare. And maybe Fat Lever's more like Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry, Fat Lever, Michael Adams, Fred VanVleet. I'm just doing the Denver Nuggets comparison of this. And, of course, those guys aren't champions from way back, and our guys are. So it kind of evens out. I don't know. Stargate, that's a good, delineation. All right. So can I amend it to Michael Adams and Pascal's Alex English? There you go. Cool Cat saying, what's going on with Aron Baynes? Aron Baynes on Saturday night got in a fist fight with the team we're playing on Sunday, Cairns Taipans, and he got ejected. And then after the game, the Cairns Taipans coach was waiting outside the locker room for Aron to fight him. And he's under fire for that behavior. So the coach of the team we're playing on Sunday night, there was a lot of people around the Australian league that want him to be fired from the league because some of them are saying there's a pattern of behavior with him with certain things that are like that. So there's a little drama to our Cairns Taipans game this Sunday. Just a smidge. Just a smidge. Wayne saying it's preseason. However, tried to watch some games last night and they were unwatchable, really unwatchable. Raptors are way above the average NBA teams. Looking forward to dominate. In some ways, I found the games to be very exciting in preseason. I'm finding the opposite of what Wayne's saying. Sure, that Cairns Taipans Washington game became unwatchable for sure. But the battle of Wemby and Chet, that was amazing in the last couple days. There's been some real gems. I mean, the Dillon Brooks stuff with Houston is hilarious and interesting. I thought our preseason game so far this season was very, very entertaining and fun. So it depends on the game and it depends on the matchup. It may also depend on who shows up. I found it very, very interesting that the Dallas Mavericks lost to Real Madrid in Spain yesterday. I've been saying this. The rest of the world is catching up faster to the NBA. And there's your wake-up call right there. Real Madrid beating the Mavericks in a close game. Now, granted, Doncic only played 5 minutes and Kyrie didn't play at all. But still, don't get all high and mighty, USA and NBA about basketball and the NBA. The other leagues are just as good, and they will beat you, just like what was proven in Spain yesterday. So there you go, right there. Real Madrid is something way more than Cairns Taipans, though. Let's just put it that way. There's levels to this. Yeah. Let's see. Fiercely saying you're onto something, Lex. Would not be surprised they're doing it on purpose and devaluing O.G. Well, there's all kinds of propaganda media stuff. It's belittling Scottie by saying he's 6'8". It's denying O.G. defensive awards or any kind of recognition or not even mentioning him in the conversation. This is very, very, very calculated. And in some ways, it's about value of the players and maybe even trying to trade to get them for less by saying, well, he's not valuable enough because he hasn't won this award, this award. Well, he hasn't won those awards because y'all are fucking overlooking him. It could be very much that action is going on. Monique saying, thanks for explaining the survey. Sorry, I freaked out. No, it's all good, Monique. You didn't really freak out. In fact, you had the right intentions. You're like, we're going to prove it to them and show them. Yeah, no, that was a good survey. That was probably one of the only few of the surveys from the GM survey that I thought was good. Was which new coach is going to have an impact on their team the most? Two GMs at least recognize that Darko is coming up. He's going to have a huge impact for us this season. Yeah, MSJ saying if Flynn starts to hit shots as a fan, I will be overjoyed. We need that third point guard. We don't seem to have one, and it's going to hurt us. If Doughton can do it, fine. I don't care. We just need a third. Yeah, I agree with this. We need to get more definition of point guards off the bench. One of the things that's hurt us is we didn't really have a true backup point guard. Classically in the NBA, the backup point guard is a very important role that is played in the league. The backup point guard is the guy who comes in and helps make sure there's no continuity. I mean, make sure there's continuity between the energy and prowess and excellence of the starting lineup. And in some ways, we haven't valued getting a good backup point guard on our team. It should have been Malachi this whole time, but he hasn't been that. He hasn't been that steady backup point guard that's supposed to do this role. It is a role historically in the NBA that is very valued, and it's different than the six-man role. It really is that backup point guard that runs things efficiently and it keeps things steady when the starting point guard is out. And we need that. Chris is right. We definitely need that. And if it ain't going to be fucking Flynn, well, hopefully it could be Doughton. If it can't be him, maybe Marquise Noel is above and beyond and ready to be like a backup or a third point guard for us. Yeah, maybe our backup point guard is still Scottie. Maybe it is Pascal. I don't know. Yeah, Seymour's saying only kick Dragic. Yeah, we got to remember who is like in bad standing with us and who is not in bad standing with us. In some ways, Fred is not in bad standing with us. He said he's family. He loves us. Is always going to be a part of Toronto. He honors his part with us, and he will when he retires. Watch. I hope that y'all didn't run him out so he doesn't feel welcome in Toronto and he turns his back on our country forever. That's another part of the reason why I want to quiet the noise, because I want Fred in retirement to be coming to Canada to be a part of our alumni and be a part of our family more than Chris Bosh, more than Vince Carter. And seriously, y'all can hurt this by being kind of bad fans in his absence after he left. That's what I'm saying. In some ways, we want him to come back and be involved in our franchise in just like alumni ways, like Muggsy Bogues, like Del Curry, like the Junkyard Dog. So seriously, let's not turn him off from our country because we're acting like idiots after he left. Seriously. Yeah, only kick Dragic. He deserves it. There's different guys we can kick. Trust me. There's different guys we can kick. Cowboy wants an alley-oop for Seymour. All right, we'll give Seymour Pape a dunk alley-oop from Bradley. Yeah, let's see. Nice pass. Yeah. David's saying, good luck with the fight. Too much for me this early in the morning. See you Sunday. All right, I'll see you on Sunday, David. He's going to bring down the championship trophy for the trivia this year. Good stuff. Yeah, Fiercely saying, agreed with Wayne. The games are subpar, extreme amount of turnovers and bad execution. It's almost like watching Summer League. No shade, but in terms of level of details, kind of like scrimmages. Well, that's what they are, basically. That's what the preseason's for. They're supposed to look ugly. They're supposed to play players that don't get to play very often, and they're going to be not that good. So, yeah, the comparisons to Summer League are fair. And in some ways, it's the beginning of the season. Everybody's ironing out stuff. So it is going to be ugly, and it's not going to be the most pretty basketball. That's just normal for preseason. Yeah. Cool Cat saying, we have a rule. Do not disparage any of our NBA champions, regardless of where their career takes them. Respect all of them. I love this rule, Cool Cat. And you know what? I'm going to take it seriously, what you're saying. The guys who are on our championship team, I don't sully Kawhi. I could go after Kawhi in different ways, but I do not. I love Kawhi. I respect Kawhi, even though he only came for 1 year, got a championship and left. You know, are we going to go after Marc Gasol? Are we going to go after Serge Ibaka? No, we're not. Are we going to go after Kyle Lowry? Some people may sometimes, but not usually. We're honoring him. And Siakam. If Siakam, God forbid, leaves our team in the next few years, are we going to go after him when he leaves? No, I don't want to do that. So that's what I'm saying. I think Cool Cat's rule right here is very good, and I'm going to give her 3 dunks for a great rule that I think I will enforce. Seriously, these guys are champions. Now, Nick is a special case. Nick is a champion with us, and he's a part of our team, but he is fucking shots fired. He is the epitome of the Vince Carter coach. the guy who went to the opposing division team and killed us afterwards. No, he's not going to kill us afterwards. We're going to beat his ass, but he's a turncoat. He's with Joel. He's with the arch enemy, Philadelphia. So in some ways, listen, Nick will be honored when he retires. This is how I deal with it. I honored Vince after he retired, but he left in bad standing. And that's the thing. I don't mind us piling on Nick now, because in some ways, piling on Nick is good for information war against Philadelphia. It's good because in some ways, I'm pissed at him for fucking running our team in the ground. I scapegoat Nick the most for what happened last season out of anybody. Not Fred, not Pascal, not Masai, not anybody else, but Nick. Nick was the main reason why we had a bad year last year. So in some ways, he's a special case out of all our champions, that I will be dissing him and coming after him while he's actively coaching an opponent of ours. And then when he retires, we give him the due respect and the love and the legendary status that he deserves as our first coach of our first championship. So there's different things with each case. And in some ways, Nick is public enemy number one out of all of our former Raptor people right now. He very much is. And in some ways, you know the competitiveness in him and how he has a bad taste from how he left Toronto. Yeah, he's coming at us with the same kind of energy, y'all. So we need to have the same energy for him. Now, there's going to be some fans that are going to be like us with Fred. And it's like, no, he's our coach. We love him. He did so much for our country and stuff like that. And in some ways, we need to allow them to have that kind of energy towards him also. When I go to Scotiabank Arena on the 28th and I'm sitting in the 100 section, I'm going to boo him when he comes back. Some fans are going to cheer him. And I don't think either one is wrong. Some people say I'm wrong. Well, some people like me may say they're wrong. But it's a free country. We can do whatever we want. I love that rule, Cool Cat, and I like it. I think we're going to do it. Stargate saying, no way they say no to either LeBron or Durant. Laugh out loud. I see them saying no to AD and Jimmy for sure. It'll be interesting to see who they say no to, because they're going to obviously have to say no to some of these guys. They can't all play for USA. And all these guys are stepping up. Oh, I want to play. I want to be the hero. I want to be the hero. Well, we're singing Tina Turner. We don't need another hero. We've got enough heroes on our team. You know, it's going to be like that at some point. It's going to be like that. Fiercely saying, speaking of jersey, one last observation about Fred, his new number is 5, no longer wearing 23. Yeah, the reason why is because of Calvin Murphy. The great Rocket legend Calvin Murphy's number is retired in that franchise. So Freddie's wearing 5 because it's 2 + 3 = 5. That is exactly why he's wearing 5. He can't wear 5 for that team because the great Calvin Murphy, one of the greatest free throw shooters in the league, Mr. Rocket is what they used to call him, that's his number, and it's in the rafters. So Freddie can't wear 23. That's why. MSJ saying, I'm most excited to see the duo of Barnes and OG. That's what I like. Those two are ready to explode on the scene this year. They can play power ball on each wing, just go through other forwards. Magic to see. I'm excited about this, Chris, for sure. Seriously, there's polls out there, and they're asking, once again, this is the perception thing. Who's going to be the breakout superstar this year? And nobody's putting Scottie on there. Nobody's putting him anywhere near there. They're so blind to this. They don't want to see it. They don't want to see Rico Hines. They don't want to see the first quarter of the game against Sacramento on Sunday night. They are blind to this. Well, they're going to see it eventually. They will not be able to avoid seeing it. Watch. And I truly believe Scottie is the guy who's going to make the biggest leap out of anybody in this league this year. He seriously is going to. It's all right in front of us, and he's ready. And he's going to do it. He's going to do it. Darko's going to allow him to, too. Watch. It's going to be really awesome. And yeah, the OG stuff's going to be fantastic, too. Seriously. OG's going to have new wrinkles to his game in some ways, for sure. For sure. Quick take saying, if you know Embiid, you won't be surprised. He wants to play for USA. He's a follower. Blow up the Sixers real good. Yeah, you like my joke about that. Yeah, they need to blow up that team real good. Real good. Yeah, I mean, seriously, he's the easy route guy. He wanted to go the easy way. And in some ways, that's the worst message for young people. Oh, let's be like Joel. Let's cop out and go the easy way. That's the thing, man. You're a punk, a chump for going with the USA the easy way. Seriously, Joel, if you played for Cameroon or even just France, I would have been like, I have respect for that. I have no respect for you choosing to play for US. Seriously. And I have no respect for the US saying you can come and play for us. Y'all need his help. Oh, poor little US. You think Canada's trying to recruit people from other countries to come play for us? No. In some ways, we're better than y'all because of that. Seriously, who on our team is from another country? Y'all are getting people from other countries, US? Man, that's so sad. Is it really that hard up for USA basketball right now that it's got to be like that? Seriously, I feel bad for y'all in some ways. Boy, the mighty have fallen. That they have to depend on a 7-foot Cameroonian to come and bail out the USA team. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Cream Thomas saying, if I was given the chance to sit down and chat with any Raptor in history, I would pick Fred. His makeup is different. He's worked almost 10 times harder than most NBA players in the league. Legend, 30 for 30. There you go. There you go. This is the kind of stuff I want to hear from you guys saying this. That's right. Because in some ways, a lot of Raptor fans are not going to do this. And Houston fans may not do this either. They're more likely not to over time. And that's why we need to keep his legend alive. Thank you, Kareem. Thank you so much. Infamous is saying, salute, freaks. Anyone who thinks the league is not against us, look no further than 1996, where the league came up with a rule to deny us the number 1 draft pick. That's right. That it was really the Shaq rule. They saw Orlando get number 1 picks too quickly, and they got Shaq and Penny all of a sudden, and they were in the NBA Finals against the Rockets. And they didn't like that in some ways. They're like, this is too quick. Orlando got too good too quick. And that was their reasoning for it. But it was real convenient that the rule only lasted for one cycle of it. And it only lasted the cycle of expansion that included the 2 Canadian teams coming in. We won that draft lottery that year that we drafted Marcus Camby. And we actually had the number 1 pick. And we should have drafted Allen Iverson that year. In some ways, that's a huge woulda, coulda, shoulda that's actually real. That in some ways, if the NBA had followed their fucking rules correctly, instead of making a special rule just for 1 year, we would have drafted Allen Iverson that year. Yeah, that's the truth, Infamous. Thanks for bringing it up. Infamous saying, if the Raptors were a book, you can't tell the whole story without Fred. There you go. I love this. I love what you guys are saying. This is exactly the kind of energy I want around Fred in some ways. He's going to have his own issues in Houston. And in some ways, the people that are really do love him need to stand by him, even during this time, even though he's not wearing our jersey. Seriously. Yeah. Seymour saying facts to what Infamous is saying. Yeah. Quick Take saying Fred isn't the first, won't be the last player that played for his contract. Y'all need to chill for real. In some ways, you can't hate him for that. This game's a cold game. It's a cold business. And they'll fuck people over. So in some ways, Fred sounds like he fucked us over, but he didn't. In some ways, once again, just like Lowry, his ship sailed away from our franchise at the exact right time. In fact, in some ways, you got to commend our front office of Masai Ujiri and Bobby Webster of like not saddling us with albatross contracts with Kyle Lowry and Fred VanVleet sticking around. Seriously, if we paid them these monies and they were getting paid, we'd be complaining about Kyle like Miami Heat fans complain about it. You know, the Rockets fans are going to complain about Fred soon enough. Watch. So in some ways, it is exactly perfect management by Masai and Bobby to let these guys go in a very respectful, smooth way that fit with what we were doing as a team and also what they wanted to do with their lives, cashing out for Fred and Kyle wanting to go to South Beach. So let's see. Top saying, I wonder who our top 5 bench players will be, barring any injury. Interesting to see if Doughton can beat out Malachi for lead backup. I'm really interested to see this. In some ways, maybe we should do a Thursday think tank, Doughton versus Flynn. Even though we haven't seen Doughton yet this preseason, in some ways we could argue the merits of the 2 guys and what they bring to the team and which would be better for us. So maybe we will do that tomorrow. Our top 5 bench guys to me are Gary, Precious, Chris. See, it's tough when you get around here. Those 3 are for sure. I would say maybe it's Grady, but maybe not. It could be Otto could be in there too, depending on. See, that's the question. The last 2, I know those 3 are top for sure. Those other 2 are for the taking. That's what I'm saying. Those other 2 in the top 5 off the bench are for the taking. You can see Chris, you can see Precious, you can see Gary for sure. But those other 2 spots are in flux. It's for those guys to take and earn right now. Yeah. Infamous saying, watch the Houston game. The team looks good. Fred played very well. He didn't shoot well. But they won, and they have a lot of young talent that's doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Cowboys saying, alley-oop, Infamous. Let's let Fred be everyone now. He's probably going to sign a one-day contract and retire as a Raptor. That could happen. I mean, Kyle's saying he's going to do that when he's done. So why Fred in some ways may do the same thing. In some ways, we got to remember, guys, he's a part of our family still, even though he's not playing for us. Wayne saying, I was pissed sometimes with Fred, but he gave me lots of joy and he made the decision for his family. I salute him for that. The bigger picture is we are a better team by Fred's decision. Thank him. Yeah. You guys got to remember everything he did for us in different places. Think about the finals against Steph Curry and how he rose up after the birth of his son and was absolutely a huge factor in why we won the championship. Think about all the joyous moments that he won huge big shots and helped us win. Think about some of the crazy shit he did, like laying on the floor with blood running out of his head. He's a real one. In some ways, we need to match his energy as real ones towards him. I thank him too. Yeah, I don't know why that was said. Quick takes. Sue is here. Good to see Sue. Played against Sue. Great music reaction channel on YouTube. If y'all like music reaction channels, look up Sue. Played against Sue. Always doing good stuff on there. Yeah, I think you're doing one on Pink Floyd or something the other day. I was like, wow, she's doing some really good music lately. Let's see. Good morning, everyone. Let's all stay positive and focus on our boys this year. I'm pumped for the Raps this season. Let's go Raptors. There you go, Sue. That's the right kind of attitude. I like that. And Kenrick saying Fred was great until the last year. With Nick not using the bench properly, Fred felt the need to play hero ball and look for his numbers. He wasn't exactly what we needed in the end. Yeah. In some ways, maybe that last year was his worst year with us. In some ways, I get what y'all are saying. And there were problems last year, and he was definitely around the middle of the problems. But in some ways, I don't know if it was totally his fault. Seymour saying hi to Sue. I like that. Cowboys saying, let's go Raptors. MSJ saying, hang on. Jumped again, of course. MSJ is saying, okay, I got to see how long I got to go on this. Okay, I got a half an hour. Y'all cut me off now here, please. Okay, as a family, people in fight, but as Raptor fans, together forever. I will only talk current players going ahead. I appreciate that, Chris. Seriously, I don't mind, and I get it. We have done a fair share of Fred bashing this summer and the fallout of his decision. We were hurt by it, and there has been stuff. But I want to switch gears. Now that we're competing in the season, there's a lot more that's presently happening that's going to be way more fun. I really do respect that, MSJ. Thank you. I do really. That really will help us out on the stream. Cowboy saying, Sue, have you heard of Neon Moon by Brooks and Dunn? If not, you will thank me later. Well, Sue, it sounds like you got a request for you to play it again with Brooks and Dunn. Neon Moon is the song he wants you to review. I don't know. She hasn't done a whole lot of country, but I know she has done country, so maybe she should. Randolph saying, good morning, beloved Raptor Freaks, most informative gang. The weather may be miserable outside, but don't bring that misery in the stream. Let's respect our hosts. Help Lex keep the stream healthy. There you go. I appreciate that, Randolph. And blessings to everybody. Actually, the weather's looking pretty good in Toronto, Randolph. It's looking all right. Blue skies and no clouds out there is what I'm seeing right now. Dana's saying, I'm back. I had to go pick up my weed. All right. Good stuff, Dana. What'd you get? What's your strain? I'm smoking Cobra Lips now. Cobra Lips. Who makes these names up? When I opened the package, I yelled like G.I. Joe, Cobra! Cobra Lips. Who names this shit? Cobra Lips. Seymour saying, what you get, Dana? Indica or sativa? That's right. We want to know. Alley-oop to Dana for getting her weed? All right, yeah, we can do that. Dana, you're getting a dunk from Cowboy, who just threw you a lob for getting your weed. That's pretty funny. Let's see. Dana saying, I'm smoking Scotties cookies. Scotties cookies. Now, I wonder if she got it because his name's Scotties. It might be. There's a little bit of advertising in there. Just name your weed with Scotty something, and everybody in Toronto will buy it. I'm sure that's true. I mean, I went to Subway the other day and said, Scotty Barnes sent me. I want Bullway. And the lady said, huh? And I was like, Bullway. I want Bullway. And she's like, what's Bullway? I was like, the peppercorn and steak rice bowl, please. She said, Bullway? What? Come on. You need to know what Bullway is, lady at the Gerrard Square Subway in the food court. Bullway. Give me Scotty Barnes Bullway. That's funny. She knows what Bullway is now. So if I come in there and I say Bullway, she knows, okay, yeah, you want Bullway. All right, good. Let's see. Seymour's got the Scotty cookies there. I like that. And Tom Duke's got the green smoking. And yeah, I like it. Let's see. Trevor J saying WNBA, Liberty and Aces tonight, game 2 of the WNBA finals. There is a game to watch. You want to see some good basketball, watch that game. Pretty hype first game. Aja Wilson, absolutely fantastic in the first game, defensively and offensively. Yeah, and that Plum girl, she annoys me, but she was very good too. and they had the microphone on Gray, Chelsea Gray, and she was hilarious. And she's like, what she's saying on the court, and she has some crazy passes. Chelsea Gray, holy crap! Highly recommend watching finals game number 2 between the Liberty and Aces tonight in the WNBA. Fiercely saying, as I don't live in Toronto, can someone tell me what is Rogers Center used for now? Also, I agree with Lex. AI is not always the solution, especially for certain specific tasks. This is scary. Yeah, I could just see people walking up there and walking away with shit. Hey, you guys are going to do this. You don't want to pay somebody to watch out or do the store? Okay, well, some people, that's what part of the problem is. People are just walking in and walking out with stuff. You have self-checkout. Well, yeah, you're going to have people checking out with stuff. That's for sure. Rogers Center is where the Blue Jays play and also where the Argonauts play. So that's the Blue Jays Sky Dome. Rogers Center is Sky Dome. So that's basically what it is, Fiercey. Seymour saying, come on, people, let's stay positive. I know it's a hump day. Hump day should make you happy. Sue saying, unless the Scotiabank Arena is structurally unsound, there's no need for renovation. I'm so tired of big biz eliminating all our jobs. Less and less human interaction, too. Crappy all around. Yeah, and that's the thing. This building is structurally sound. That money could have gone towards getting the WNBA team. That money is going to cause an increase in the ticket sales and the ticket prices probably. So we're going to have to pay more money. They can justify it because we spent $350 million on the building. That's why ticket prices are up. There's all kinds of convoluted business scheme bullshit about these renovations that I hate. I've seen renderings of the entrance coming from Union Station and them doing some crazy ass shit with that entryway. Of course, all of it is with Leaf shit all over it. Like they have the Leafs in mind for what they're doing with the fucking renovations. Half the shit may not even be involved with us. It may be just fucking Maple Leaf bullshit they want to do to the building. The Union Station just got renovated and there's new passages and new look to it. They may want to add the passage from Union Station into the Scotiabank Arena. They want to upgrade it. Instead of being a little fan area with a lot of basket shots, you can take hockey shots, all this stuff. They're going to upgrade that part of the building and overdo that part of the building with that money they're talking about. Man, they've been doing like these kind of renovations all along, whether it's the upstairs bar that came out over that look over part, whether it's the concourses coming in from the parking lots on the west side of the building. They've been renovating the hell out of that building on the down low a whole time. They don't need to announce that they're going to spend $350 million to renovate it further. Seriously, this is the stupidest thing. I'm telling you, MLSE is doing this to justify raising ticket prices. I'm telling you, the way MLSE is being run right now is pissing me the fuck off. And this idea that you're renovating the Scotiabank Arena right now is so insidious and stupid and messed up. A.I.concessionaires. People used to want to come and see me make that Mr. Sub for them and talk to me and interact with me during the game. Hey, Mr. Sub guy, how you been, man? I ain't seen you in a while. You doing good, man? Yeah, I'm doing good. I'll make you sub. What do you want on it? Yeah, I want lettuce, tomato. Yeah, we're going to talk about it. What, you going to have some sort of robot arms going to make the subs at some point? It's going to be like a Looney Tunes commercial, a cartoon. You're going to see the bread will come out and it'll be all fucked up because the machine didn't do it right. What is it going to be? It's going to get to that point, isn't it? Yeah, it's going to get to that point. Quick Take saying so much to address with his AI shit. That's right. We live in the Wild West, y'all. Just call me fucking Buffalo Bill Cody or Wild Bill Hickok because we're living in a fucking Wild West of the AI and the internet world. And we just are scratching the surface of the kind of crazy bullshit that's going to be coming at us in this world soon. Trust me, just scratching the surface. Just wait till the next political cycle with all the crazy AI images that people can make up and fake deep fake shit. Yeah, there's going to be all kinds of, you don't know what's real anymore. Seriously. We're going to get to a point where half this world is going to be fake and don't buy into it. Seriously. MSJ saying Shoppers has turned into some sort of fascist drug mart. They should change the name, Fascist AI Drug Mart. Well, it's not you, Lex. Kind of hate the place now, too. There you go. I can't go in there. Like, I go in there and I see what has happened with it, and it just pisses me the fuck off. It really, really does. In some ways, if it wasn't such a convenient drugstore, I when I get up north, I'm going to start going places that employ people still. I'm going to boycott every single place that is cutting corners on employees by replacing them with AI. I am going to boycott all those places. And that's what I'm saying. I do it. A couple of y'all do it too. A couple hundred of us do it. A couple thousand of us, a couple million of us do it. This fucking makes a difference. So we have a lot more power when we're collective and we act as a group, as a mass. We can make them get the message. And this shit is not right. It's not right. That's right. Let's see. Paul's saying, is it pronounced gay or gay? I know Matt Devlin was saying gay on the broadcast the other day. I really did some deep research on this, Paul. We went over this actually yesterday or the day before on the stream. It's Mohamedou Gay. There's two guys in the league that have almost the same name. The other guy's on Atlanta, and he's Mohammed Gay. He's Mohammed Gay, and we have Mohamedou Gay. And what we found out was because of the origins of where Mohamedou Gay is from, which is Senegal, he has a French background. And that we looked at the etymology, and Matt Devlin's wrong. I looked this up and went over this like crazy because I want to make sure I knew what I was talking about when I say his name. So I'm saying it correctly. Matt is not. Matt is saying it the way that the Atlanta player gets it pronounced. And I'm saying it the way that actually our guy gets it pronounced. So we'll see if he changes it over the season. But I'll stand by my pronunciation of Mohamedou Gay because I looked it up and I saw it. And he may have saw Mohammed Gay where he saw it. Is that's that other dude down in Atlanta is what, I went and did the research on this. Cowboy saying Digital Underground is your chance to do the hump. Oh, you're saying that because it's Wednesday? Cowboy, you're not doing the alley-oop this time. I'm doing the alley-oop to you, bro, for bringing up old Crazy Nose. And the Humpty Dance is your chance to do the hump. Oh, sexy baby, do the hump, the hump. Do the hump, the hump. You can't get busy in a Burger King bathroom. Yeah. Do the Humpty Hump. Do the Humpty Hump. Paul B saying, why is Matt Devlin saying that? I just explained it. There you go. I don't know. I think I'm right. Seriously, I did in-depth research on this because I want to get it right. So Matt Devlin was calling him Javale McGee. So don't go by what Matt Devlin's saying exactly. He was saying Javale McGee. And Alvin was very much saying JaVale McGee, like everybody else says. For some reason, Matt Devlin wanted to call him Javale. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Matt Devlin. He was injured this summer. Fiercely saying at Seymour, I think it's early to tell. We may have a better idea after the third preseason game. Taipans will not be a good baseline as they seem to be weak. Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, we have 4 preseason games. The one that's going to matter the most is that one in Chicago. When we go there next Wednesday, a week from today, that is the game that means something. That's a game where we have something to prove. That's the game where we got to get some get back. And that's going to be the toughest opponent we have in the preseason. And I'm all about it. I thought maybe Sacramento would be the toughest opponent, but no, we handled Sacramento pretty good. But coming to see the Bulls in the United Center on Wednesday, a week from today, that's going to be the test. Watch. And that's the one where I hope we have a big, big game and we kick their ass because we need a little bit of help feeling better about the way we lost to them in the play. Yeah, there you go. Dana's saying 420. Let's go. She's ready for 420. Let's just change the clock and go outside. Cowboy saying, not sure, Lex. Will tell you many. I'm wrong. Don't think so, though. All right. I think he's just doing the lyrics still. Stargate saying, Seymour, all right, stop what you're doing because I'm about to ruin. You guys are really on the Digital Underground tip right now. Yeah. Interesting take, Fiercey. Yeah, all right. Quick Takes is saying, I'm going to the game with my son on Sunday, but the tickets are a gift. That's awesome, Quick Takes. Well, maybe we can rendezvous. If you want to come see us before the game, even if you don't have the same seats as us, you could come and say hi in person and meet us. Because I know at least David and I will be down there, and Peter will probably be there with David. So, the more the merrier. Even if we're not sitting together, it might be fun to kind of just chill and meet up for just a sec. That'd be fun. Seymour saying, salute, NBA takes father-son. Moments last forever. There you go. We're going to give NBA Quick Takes a dunk. And we're also going to give Seymour a dunk for appreciating that kind of stuff. Because it is true. Quick Takes is getting his dunk. There you go. I love it. Yeah, taking your son to the game. I love it. Wayne's saying, Lex, you have to understand that $350 million is straight money laundering. Those systems don't cost $50 million, but the bill will be $350 million. Companies commissioned are on their own cohort of business. Yeah, man, you're giving me other levels of being pissed at them. Seriously, how much of that $350 million would it have taken to do the WNBA here? And seriously, is this really the right kind of investment? Seriously. Oh my gosh. The Scotiabank Arena is still one of the best buildings in the NBA for all kinds of different reasons. And this just smacks of what you're saying, money laundering of some sort. I agree with you. Cowboys saying, good job, Papa Dukes. Yeah, this is awesome. At NBA Quick Takes. Enjoy the game. Also, how many players do we have to cut? We have to cut 3, Bradley. And we're going to cut Muhammad Ugi, and we're going to cut Maker. But that third person is the person we got to figure out. I know we're going to cut Gee and Maker. These guys are Exhibit 10s, and they're going to be on our G League team for sure. But the other person right now is Jeff. Right now it's Dowden. The other person's looking like it's going to be cut. But could it switch to one of the other guys somehow, some way? Maybe. Fiercey saying at Stargate, the Humpty Dance reference. Y'all really like the Digital Underground. That's right. Paul B saying Tampa season, 11 players have 30-point games for the Raptors. Fred VanVleet, 20 points and 422 versus Utah. Malachi Flynn, rookie of the month to start the season. Yeah, Tampa year was weird. Cool Cat saying Fred VanVleet is a historic player of the Raptors franchise, also the NBA history. Respect his journey. Now let's talk about Coach Darko intended schemes. There you go. Let's move forward and let's talk about Dennis Schroeder. Let's talk about Jalen McDaniels. Let's talk about Grady Dick. That's what I'm talking about. Seymour saying Campazzo is dangerous. He's just like JJ Barrera. Yeah, he was on Real Madrid killing Dallas yesterday. He is dangerous. Very, very dangerous. I agree with that. Cowboys saying Darko era. Let's grow. That's right. Quick Take saying Wemby and Chet was crazy. Chet wants all the smoke. Yeah, this is going to be a fantastic matchup for the years to come. In some ways, this is something the league needs. You know, a Magic versus Larry kind of rivalry is always good. And in some ways, these guys are the perfect kind of matchup against each other with their crazy heights to be a very cool marquee matchup for the years to come. The fact that they play near each other in the same division is going to be good too, because they'll be playing each other a lot between Oklahoma City and San Antonio. And I think the Wemby Chet rivalry is going to be very, very good for marketing and very, very good for the NBA in general, as long as Chet can stay healthy. That's what I'll say. Seymour saying Noel can get pesky at that pesky level too. Yeah, I agree with that. Who's our second point guard? Maybe that is what we'll do tomorrow. Thursday think tank. Who should be our backup point guard? That's right. I like that. Maybe that'll be what our subject is tomorrow. Mo's saying I'm really loving the new offensive sets for us. Yeah. Watch the tape over and over again from Sunday and just feel good. And I love them too, Mo. Stargate saying notable backup point guards back in the day, Steve Kerr in Cleveland or Gerald Henderson in Detroit. Now, those are deep cuts, like really deep cuts in some ways. Yeah, those aren't bad backup point guards. When I think of other ones, but yeah, those aren't bad ones. Dana's saying Dragon has a little brother named Zoran. Yeah, Zoran's actually older than Dragic, I think. I think that Zoran's older than Goran. I don't remember though. Dragic. Wayne saying Miami Heat versus Charlotte was akin to going to the park and watching some immigrants playing for the first time, not referring to our game and didn't see San Antonio. I see. That's what you're talking about. Yeah, I mean the preseason is going to be ugly mostly. It's not going to be all beautiful game like Darko was doing on Sunday. There is going to be a lot of ugliness in preseason. We know that's just the case. In some ways, the NBA is ugly in regular season games that don't really matter still at this point. So, of course, there's going to be ugliness in the preseason. Let's see. Quick Take saying, y'all crazies better not boo Fred on his return. Yeah, I'm not going to boo him. I won't boo him. I'll boo Nick, but I won't boo Fred. I won't add to that noise, and it'll be in February. So hopefully people will just show him the honors and stuff like that. Dana's saying, I'm not going to boo him. I just don't miss him. Sorry, but not sorry. See, I can be like this. I think that's fair. I don't miss him either. I'm glad he's gone. I'm glad he's not on our team, but I don't hate him, and I'm not against him. Fiercely saying, yes, at Cool Cat, about the rule, about the champions. Wayne Strainer's saying, that's a good rule, but it doesn't involve the fucking coach. Not right now, it doesn't. But when he's done, when he hangs it up and he's older and he's retired, yes, he very much gets it. He gets it then. He definitely gets it then. He is a Toronto Raptors legend, Nick Nurse. And in some ways, his accomplishments and the things he did need to be honored by us eventually. But right now, he's crossed enemy lines. And in some ways, it's not the time to honor him. Let's just put it that way. Wayne's saying there's no reprieve for Nick Nurse, now and forever dishonored. I'll disagree on that. I'll disagree with that. He's an active competitor against us. Yeah, I'll agree with it then. But when he's done and he's hung it up, he is going to be in good standing with me, and I'll love him. And I'll be like, I thank you, coach. Because I do. I really appreciate Nick Nurse in a lot of ways on the down low. It's just that it hurts the way this all turned out the way it did. And the fact that he wanted to go coach Philadelphia instead of Phoenix, that pisses me off. That tells me right there that he wanted to come get back against us. You could have easily gone in the Valley of the Sun and played for an amazing owner and had fucking Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, and all the great things that Frank Vogel has over there, Nick. You could have fucking went there. But you chose to come to Philadelphia. Well, you're the enemy then, fucker. Yeah, this is what's going to happen. There you go. Stargate saying, hey, Sixers Nation, the process is over. Blow it up. Blow it up real good. Joe Allen's going to leave. He's going to New York or he's going to Miami. Yeah, Sixers Nation. Y'all should be worried. Joel is going to leave y'all. He is going to leave you. So just get rid of him now. Just get him on going. James gone too. Get Joel gone too. Then it'll be Maxi's team. That's what y'all want, Sixers Nation. Build around Maxi. There you go. There you go. Cool Cat saying, I actually wait in line for human service on my errands. We as consumers have power to push back. Talk with our money, act in support of each other. AI replacing humans, yet no UBI allowances. There you go. Cool Cat is exactly on it, and I'm giving her more dunks. Cool Cat is getting more dunks today than ever. She's getting 3 for that one, too, because I exactly with her on this. My stance is exactly what Cool Cat just said. We have power as consumers. We don't like some of this shit, reject it. They find out their bottom line's being hurt by it. They will correct themselves. We are the power. We have the money. We're the ones who spend the money so that these greedy, parasitic fucking corporations can make money off our blood. And, well, we don't want to fucking do it a certain way. We can do it a certain way. Exactly what Cool Cat's saying. Go and wait in line for the human checkout person, even if there's just one. Make a statement. I have no problem with doing that myself either. They want to cater everything to convenience to make people fall into these traps. Well, it's not convenient for me for people to lose jobs. So I'll stand in that line, even if it takes longer. How about that? There you go. I love it, Cool Cat. And you're exactly right. And she's right. You know what? If you're going to do this, UBI, motherfuckers, universal basic income, get everybody enough money to pay for their house and their food. And then we are fine, and then you can take all the jobs away and we'll do creative pursuits. We'll make the world enriched with beauty and culture and art. Or we'll do jobs that are new jobs that make new things and services for the society that humans can still do that AI is not taking over. So, there's a lot to this. There's a lot to this. Stargate saying, hey, Sixers Nation, trade Maxi and Joel for assets. Ain't that what they be telling the Raptors to do? That's right. Yeah, well, all right. You're right. We should just tell them to get rid of Maxi too. Sixers Nation, trade Maxi too. Yeah, that's good smarts for you. Yeah, you're always telling us to trade OG, trade Pascal, trade Fred, saying all that bullshit the last couple of years. Well, y'all should trade Joel and Tyrese. Why not? Just do it. Cool Cat saying, I think one of Malachi's challenges is that he should have asked to play in G League after Tampa to get point guard runs. Instead, he was sent for 2 games in his 3rd year and was not happy about it. Yeah, I feel like that was a development failure by Nick Nurse and the Raptors, that he did not get any G League hardly at all. Very, very much hurt him. I think this is true. The first year is understandable because it was the pandemic. We're in Tampa. But in that 2nd year, he should have just bit his ego and realized, this is why I'm not people that think Grady shouldn't go down there. You're crazy. He needs to go down there because it's really going to help him in the long run. It would have helped Malachi, but it didn't happen. And we're seeing it now. John Vu saying, rest in peace, Brendan Malone. Yes, John. We are definitely feeling the death of Brendan yesterday. And we have all due respect and love and condolences and support to the Malone family and all the people around the NBA that his life touched. Yes. Cool Cat saying at Stargate, exactly. NBA said we need to get rid of all of our great players and rebuild. Apply the same narrative that they did about the Raptors. That's right. Celtics. Get rid of Tatum and Brown. Y'all don't need them to win. You guys have Drew Holiday now. Build around him. Yeah. Well, fucking use the same shit that they use on us. Seymour saying, I remember watching Georgetown versus Memphis at Maple Leaf Gardens. The game was crazy. Hang on, it jumped. I don't know why it jumped while I was in the middle of it. Iverson hit the game winner. I really wanted him in Toronto, but Camby was good too. Yeah, it was really, in some ways, I didn't understand at that time because they didn't make it public knowledge totally how they screwed us over for the first pick. They just said the rule is the expansion teams can't have the first pick. And I was like, what is going on here in some ways? But then again, I let it go. And it's in the years past, I realized just how fucked up that decision was, because when they brought in new teams, they never had to follow this rule after us. It was very specifically just for Vancouver Grizzlies and Toronto Raptors, because expansion teams since this have not had to follow the same rule, and they've been able to get higher picks and not been excluded from it. So it's kind of messed up rule, a one-time rule just for the Canadian teams. Yeah, it's crazy. Stargate saying, could you imagine the Raptors could have had Iverson and Vince on the same team? They could have also potentially had Tracy and Damon and Vince on the same team as well. Wow, we drafted well all along. In fact, that's part of the reason why they saw it. They probably saw it. We can't let them get Iverson in Canada. He's a superstar. He's going to make a lot of money, and we want it to be in the States. That could have been part of the thinking too. Is that Sixers Nation? You may have never had Iverson if the NBA had been run fairly that year, and he would have been a Raptor in his career. Seriously. Fiercely saying, yeah, I think we need to see all 4 preseason games to assess Doughton, Malachi, Marquise, Javon Freeman, Liberty, Maker, McGee. I have a feeling Harper's spot is secure in the main roster, but not sure why exactly. Well, it's partly his father, Ron Harper Sr., the brotherhood and camaraderie of the league. In some ways, I hate to say the nepotism does matter. We've also said this is a big thing with Wayne Embry. Wayne Embry, our senior advisor of our team, who's been around forever. Well, he's from the Cavs, and he drafted Ron Harper Sr. way back. So there's some connections to Ron's family with some of our management that protects him in some ways. Now, I want Ron to get better and better and earn his spot. But in some ways, you're right. In some ways, do we want Ron Harper just because of his family and where he's from? Or do we want a player that is, I think that Ron can do it. It's not that it's just his name that keeps him on our team, but he does need to distinguish himself to make sure that nobody has that perception. If I was him, I would be trying really damn hard to show that I proved that I made it on my own and not because my name is Ron Harper Jr. Yeah. He needs to do that. Seriously. Let's see. Fiercely saying Grady and Koloko are also secure, I think. I don't know. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that, especially. I would have said it about Koloko if he wasn't hurt right now. If he wasn't injured right now, he's in jeopardy of losing a top 10 spot on a rotation if he's not available or he's injured the whole year. So in some ways, and I won't even give Grady this. Darko gave the nod in the first game. He's part of the third unit. He's not a part of the bench unit. It's more likely that Jalen McDaniels is that 8th or 9th player or 10th player, and somebody like Malachi. It could be very well. It's Gary, Chris, Precious, Jalen, and Malachi are the first 5 off the bench. It could be like that. And Grady's in the next 3, the third team, the next 5. Cool Cat saying, I'm getting so nervous about some of our fan base reactions when it's time for Pascal and OG to move on. Oh boy. Well, in some ways, once again, we can tune this all out, unfollow people, block people, don't go to places in comment sections because there's just going to be stupid people there anyway. We can be more like Masai and Bobby and the players and just cut out the social media noise. They don't look at any of the garbage. These people don't matter if you don't give them any attention. So on your own personal life, you see those areas, where it's going to be like that, just steer clear. And you won't see it. I've avoided a lot of comment sections more in the last 6 months than I have before. Before I would go in there and try and fight with these people. But at a certain point, you're just like, what's the point? This is stupid. Just ignore them. And they don't even exist in your world. They're going to be out there. Yeah. And I acknowledge they're going to be out there. But in some ways, we give them power when we actually acknowledge them. And if we don't, then we're fine. We're fine. Fiercely, thanks for the cutoff. Country Kong's here. Good to see Country Kong. Scotty Barnes, Switch Family 2022. Always love to see Country Kong, the Grady pick. That's right. The Grady pick. We made our deal this week. He got Draymond from me. The deal ended up becoming Draymond Green and Davion Mitchell of the Sacramento Kings for Harrison Barnes of the Kings and Kelly Oubre Jr. Now, I had to take that deal. It's a good deal. And I hope you're happy with it also. Country Kong doing a fantasy trade this week. And listen, I don't want Kelly Oubre on my team. If anybody wants to trade for Kelly Oubre, you can get him from me. And you may be able to get him for a certain cost that's lower in a certain way. So send me some trades if you're in our Yahoo Raptor Freak Fantasy League. And see if you can get Kelly Oubre Jr. from me. I don't want any Sixers on my team. I only took the deal because it was a good deal and I didn't mind it. And I was okay with it. So I don't really want Kelly. If y'all want Kelly, you can have him. Dana's saying it's a hybrid. Okay, it's a sativa indica hybrid. Infamous saying Cobra Lips sounds like an adult movie. I know. Like, who is naming this shit? Cobra Lips. Is it like the way you're supposed to smoke it? Am I supposed to wrap my lips around the pipe like I'm a cobra or something? What is this fucking shit? Cobra. Like I'm the Baroness. Cobra. Sue saying that Cowboy. No, I haven't, but I will check out Neon Moon. I have Brooks and Dunn, but not that one. I will do it for you. There you go. You got a request sent from Bradley to Sue, and Sue's gonna do it. I love it. I'm gonna be waiting for that one too. And I see that one, I'll be like, "There's Bradley's request." It'll be cool. Oh, all the best love to Sue and Chelsea and the rest of the Play It Again Sue family. You guys are awesome. Quick Take saying smoking pink something something. You're smoking pink something something. Pink something something. Fiercey's rooting for the Liberty tonight. That's right. I want them to even it up. You know, they did not do well in the second half in the game one. They really got dominated by the Aces at both ends of the court and traded. And I'm sorry to say, but VanVleet, she was traveling on that play. And Becky Hammond got in trouble for cussing at the ref and yelling at them. She was right. That girl double dribbled some sort of craziness on that 3-point shot late in that game. And Becky Hammond got so mad that both her players had to come around her and hug her, like a protective hugging around her. And it's like, you can tell what she's saying. We can't try and censor it. We know exactly what she's saying. F-bombs all over the place. That down. Becky Hammond, you're a badass. I love you. Oh, she's awesome. Monique saying W's are all around. W stream, keep at it always. Good times, only no negative. That's right. Good times only, no negative. Go Raptors. That's right, Monique. We love it. I love it. Thank you for the cutoff. Paul B saying, thanks for clarifying, Lex. I hope Guy and Koloko can contribute to this team. I hope so too. I have a lot of hope in Mohamedou. He's got a lot of skills, and we need to hang on to him and hopefully keep him around, and he will make the transition to our regular roster somehow, some way. Fiercely saying Javal means something naughty in French. Javale. Matt Devlin needs to be careful. I think he's doing this on purpose. I think he saw the bump from the Ron Jeremy comment and the fun of this. Maybe they're going to be a little more loose. I mean, Grady's on our team now, and he's saying Mohamedou gay. And like I said, you know, there's a lot of craziness with phrasing that could happen from the commentating team of Matt Devlin and Jack Armstrong this season. Seriously, there's all kinds of phrasing pitfalls that we're going to be coming into this year. Whether or not he's saying JaVale McGee's name wrong and making it sound like a French dirty word. Quick Day say, yeah, let's link for sure. Well, like I said, I'll be out in front at 420 if you guys can get down there early enough. If not, you know, there may be some other way we can meet up somewhere around there. We'll talk more about it in the days leading up to Sunday, and we'll maybe concretely fix a time. 420 is a great time to get there because the game starts at 6. They're going to open the doors at 5. So we can kind of hang out around outside the building and talk and meet up and then go into the building together. And maybe just because you guys aren't sitting with us, we can hang out a little bit. And then, you know, everybody goes and gets their seats. So, yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out for sure. And 100% thumbs up and peace to Cowboy and Seymour. Randolph saying, Lex, it seems like they would do the NBA expansion. That's what is going to – I wish they had done the WNBA expansion MLSE. But what I'm hearing now is the NBA, once they get their media deals done, it's a done deal. There's going to be a team in Las Vegas, and there's going to be a team in Seattle again. So the expansion of the NBA is coming back to Seattle and also putting a team in Las Vegas. That team in Las Vegas is supposed to be owned by LeBron, though. So we'll see how that timing works with him and maybe retiring. So it'll be very, very interesting. Fiercely saying, I peeped Zion playing yesterday. Whoever has him on their fantasy leagues, so far so good. He's trim. Like, he's very fit. He's not overweight, and he looks serious. Like, he looks like this may be the year. In some ways, I'm predicting guys in recent years who have been maligned for different things like Zion Williamson and Kawhi Leonard are going to have big years this year. I really hope Leonard does. He's on my fantasy team. If we can get Leonard healthy this year and he can actually have a good year this year, my team's going to be so good. My team's going to be so good if my guys can just stay healthy. Kyle Lowry, Kevin Durant, and Kawhi Leonard on my fantasy team. Yeah, those guys stay healthy. I'm in good shape. But yeah, I think that Zion has something to prove. I think that Kawhi has something to prove also. And that's staying healthy and playing a lot of games this year. Cool Cat saying, I feel the Wemby and Chet era is going to shadow the Barnes era draft era, as most of those guys are friends with each other. whereas Wemby and Chet were rivals since kids representing France and USA. Yeah, that's interesting. And then he's saying, last point, folks are the game behavior are very different from online community fans. Yeah, that's true too. People that actually go to the games are very different. And online people, they had the anonymity and privacy of like saying whatever the fuck they want to say, and they think they have no repercussions. Yeah. Now, as far as the rivalry thing, there is a chance that Scottie gets a rivalry like this with different people around the league at some point. There's ability for him to have it with Evan Mobley already. That's for sure. There's the ability for him to maybe develop something with Franz. There's ability for him to maybe even develop something with his best friend, Cade Cunningham, where there's a bit of a rivalry. I don't know. In some ways, Scottie may want to aim his sights higher and go for a more established older vet and make a rivalry with somebody like that instead. That'll make a name for himself in some ways. I don't know. In some ways, we don't need the distraction. We just need Scottie to show up and be a badass, dominant player, and people will turn heads and say, "Oh, this guy's really good. He's made some leaps." Yeah, yeah, I'm all about that. It's maybe not. He doesn't have a foil exactly like Chet and Wemby do, but maybe he does develop a foil, a rivalry somehow, some way. In some ways, we don't want to have that straight up rivalry. And part of it is Scott's mentality. We very much talk about him versus Joel in the stream chats with him on Twitch, and he's very much stopped hating on Joel. He's not my enemy. I don't hate Joel. Y'all hate Joel. I do not. He's fine with me. I don't have any of this animosity that the Raptors fans have towards Joel Embiid. Scottie doesn't have that. So in some ways, his mindset of not taking on verses against people will hurt him making a head-to-head matchup with people. Because in some ways, he doesn't want that. He doesn't want to have an adversary, one person that's like kind of like, ooh, like Magic and Bird were. He doesn't want that. And Wemby and Chet will naturally have that, partly because of their body stature. So let's see. Quick take saying true at Dana, not missing him either. Yeah, in some ways, that's fine. We don't have to miss him, and we're going to be better without him. I do believe that. Seymour saying Zion set up Valanciunas and he got bodied. I love it. Valanciunas, another guy on my team. I love my team. I got Jonas on my team with Kyle and Kawhi. That's some real Raptors on my team and Gary Trent. That's right. Yeah. Quick take saying they better house and feed us. That's what I'm saying. I mean, the money's there. The greedy ass motherfuckers have all this money at the top. And the tax pays, they should be paying their taxes, and then we can distribute it to everybody and take care of everyone. We could be more civilized society with people that are actually like in good shape and healthy and happy and taken care of, and we'd produce more. We'd have better things happening in our lives. We'd have more culture. We'd have more of a renaissance feeling in our society because people will have time to think and to do things. That's part of the secret is they want the rat race so crazy, running so crazy. You don't have time to sit down and ponder and philosophically think about how fucked up this bullshit system is. That's part of the key of keeping the system intact. Keep you running on that hamster wheel so you have no time to realize how fucked up it is. And that's what I'm saying. If they're going to take our jobs with AI and people aren't going to be able to work, well, how are you going to take care of society? You want us to plummet into some sort of crime-ridden city like Gotham City and Batman, where everybody's just like really fucked up? That's the whole thing. People worry about crime in Toronto, attacks on TTC, crazy fucked up people downtown. You want to fix it? Well, take care of us. Give us housing. Give us food. That's the only way mental health gets so bad and all this shit happens. Economics. There's nothing to do with problems with not having enough police. There's nothing to do with any of that kind of shit. You go to the source of the problem. People are hungry. People are doing crazy shit like stealing shit so they can feed their children. That is why crime happens. Economics. So you fix the economics, you fix the crime problems. It's that simple. It's the people don't realize that. They want to see it because they don't want to help people. They want to be greedy and they want to turn the other way. They want to act like they don't exist. The people living in tents in the park. Yeah, that's what happens when you're greedy. You get a lot of the population have to go live outside in a fucking tent because you fucks are so greedy at the top. Yeah, there's going to be a reckoning at some point. You just say, y'all want to be like Marie Antoinette. Well, you know what? A lot of people keep likening things to guillotines and things that they did to the rich. Eat the rich. That's right. You may be getting towards that because y'all got too fucking greedy and you didn't take care of the bottom. Yeah, you're going to get there someday. Watch. Seriously, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg. Yeah, you're going to get there someday. Watch. Yes, you will. Galen Weston. Yes, you will. Yeah. All right. Let me keep going in the comments. My little political diatribes in the middle here. Let's see. Kelly Oubre is cute, but I'm aiming to win, so hard pass. I know I got Gary and Kelly on my team. I've got thirst trap guys on my team. And in some ways, yeah, Kelly's Kelly. He's not a bad player. And if I have to have him on my team this year, I'll eat it. But in some ways, I hate the Sixers so much. I just don't want him on my team. If he was on the Hornets, I'd be fine with keeping him right now. But because he's on the Sixers, I don't want him. I don't want him. Quick take saying, oh shit, y'all made a trade? I don't know if we made a trade. I made a trade with, in the fantasy league. I made a trade with Country Kong, and he got Draymond from me. Yeah. Seymour saying Oubre is Mr. Steal Your Girl. That's right. That's right. Quick take saying I like Kelly, but not for fantasy though. And we don't know what his role is going to be with Nick. I could see him being like their 6-man kind of swing guy. He could very well be very, very good this year though. Country Kong saying good trade, Lex. I just hope Draymond doesn't fight anyone on the team. I'm still hoping Omari accepts my trade for Grady, but you forgot to read my comment. All good. Have a good day, Raptor Freaks. What did you say, Country Kong? What comment is it? Is it on this chat or is it from me in the fantasy? No, I read that one about Paolo Banchero. Oh, this one? Okay, good morning, Raptors Freaks. Lex, the Orlando Magic are must-see TV. Markel Fultz has the ball on a string and boosters in his shoes. Paolo Banchero is LeBron, Carmelo, and Dwayne Wade handles. So talented. Okay, so Country Kong is talking up Orlando. That's maybe why I overlooked it. No disrespect. All right, I'm glad I went back and read that. So you like what you're seeing in Orlando so far? They're a team that could come up and be a problem. And in some ways, I don't want that. You know, our visit to Orlando last season was part of when our team seasons fell apart. So in some ways, I don't want good things for Orlando. And we better beat them better than we did last year. We better beat them. All right, I went back and got it. I apologize for not reading it, Country Kong. And yeah, I'm glad that we could figure out that trade. It took a couple of back and forths, and we finally found the right one. I was really hoping you would take the straight up Russell for Draymond, but you didn't want to do that, obviously. I was thinking you were waiting on that one to see if James was going to come to Clippers, and then maybe you would pull the trigger because James is going to eat into Russell Westbrook's output on the Clippers for sure. And I thought that may be why you were waiting on that. But then you came around with that other deal, and I was like, I'll do this. I didn't value Davion Mitchell that much. So in some ways, I'm okay with what we did because I got two solid players that are kind of in the middle of Draymond and Davion. So let's see. Seymour saying Jack's going to be like this. Dick looks good. No homo. He might say something like that. No lie. No lie, Seymour. He might very well say that. We may need to keep track of when these guys are out of pocket with their phrasing this year. There may be some really, really good quotes that we're going to need to remember. Quick take saying, Lex, you think a trade is still high on Masai's priority list? Not now. Not at this point. Not at this point. But let's see how things are around December, maybe the end of November, considering how we do, how guys are fitting in. I mean, that's what Masai said. He's going to make a deal to help Darko's system work. And if guys are not fitting in with the system and they're not working, then he might trade them. And that is specifically talking about Siakam and maybe OG. I don't know. We'll have to see. But I think that in some ways, the fears of them walking for nothing next summer, in some ways, Masai may be more inclined to do something now because there's so many fans out there that have this perception of this happening and they're worried about it. And in some ways, he wants to, be okay. He might make a deal if it's a really good one and it makes sense considering how the team's performing. If these guys are going to be great and they work with it, he's going to try and get them extensions and keep them. It really is going to depend on how smoothly things go with Darko's system and integrating specific guys into it. So we'll have to see. Laughing at Seymour and Paul saying, remember, Kyle Lowry's final game as a Raptor, he dropped 37 points, 11 assists versus the Lakers. That was a beautiful game. I'll always remember that game. It was a great moment in Raptors history, for sure. Cool Cat saying, I think our in-championship performance will provide us with lots of data. Yeah, our in-season tournament, yeah. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching me. Let me just make sure I covered everything. We are very sad to hear the passing of Brendan Malone yesterday. We love you, Coach, and you're always going to be an important part of the early start of our history. And we will honor and cherish you forever. Cairns Taipans coming in on Sunday. They've got controversy around their coach who was fighting with Aron Baynes in Australia on Saturday. So it's going to be a little bit of a fun game. And I'm not worried about this Cairns Taipans team. I think that we are going to kick the shit out of them on Sunday. Let's do the Raptors Instagrams real quick. We do have, I'm over 2 hours. I don't care. Chris Boucher's pointing to his arm like Dennis does. It looks like he's kind of doing the freeze. Very interesting to see him kind of doing that. Thad Young's putting reform transportation on blast, and he's showing his kids. Actually, that's the team, or is that his kids? I think that's his kids. That's the young boys are in Canada practicing up here now because the young family is in Toronto for Thad's season with the Raptors. So I love seeing that Thaddeus and Taylor are both up here with their. And then there's Thad licking his wife's face in one of the pictures there. Shakina getting a nice wet tongue on her cheek. Gross in a way. Dennis Schroeder is thanking people for 20,000 followers. That's very awesome. What else was he saying on his Instagram? He's got he went to the lake, y'all. Dennis went down to Lake Ontario with the kids, and we see a nice picture of Lake Ontario with the trees, and we see Junior in the swing at the Lake Ontario down there. So Dennis is definitely, since they got back from Vancouver, spending intense family time with his family in the new home in Toronto. So this is cool. And hopefully they're going to do some cool stuff, film it, and we'll get to see it on YouTube. So yeah, good stuff from Dennis and the family out and about in Toronto. The Raptors have officially released their statement on the conflict in Israel, and it's pretty much towing the line of what all the NBA is saying. In some ways, this is a really bad situation, and we just want it to end. We are wishing for peace, love, and understanding, and the safety of our good friend Ahmet Gaming over there. Ron Harper Jr. put on blast that the Raptors were putting awareness of World Mental Health Day yesterday. So he was a part of it. He showed his support in his social media stories about that. Open Gym also condemning the attacks in Israel, very much making their statement on that. So that's pretty much it. I think, wasn't there something from Scottie? I want to say that there was a Scottie post, but I don't remember. Scottie actually has been posting a lot of his highlights from the first game, a lot of them. And there's an interesting thing that just got posted about, like, they're asking the Raptors. I'm gonna watch this later. I don't want to watch it right now. Okay, I think that's it. And once again, yeah, they're doing the stupid renovations. They're gonna try and put AI in the concession booth. What the fuck that is? It's some bullshit. Yeah, prayers for Brendan Malone, and Monique saying biggest tribute for Brendan Malone by the Raptors. Yeah, a lot of people around the league are celebrating, or not celebrating, or like remembering him, and giving their condolences and respects. And it's nice to see. It's a league-wide thing. It's a family. The NBA and Brendan Malone was an important part of the NBA family for decades. So yeah, we wish you well. And once again, our heartfelt, deepest sympathies and condolences to the Malone family specifically, and everybody who was very close with Brendan Malone. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching me. Tomorrow we'll do Thursday Think Tank. We're going to talk about that backup point guard spot. Let's talk about that tomorrow. I think that's a good subject to talk about, what we think we need or who we need to be that backup point guard tomorrow on the Thursday Think Tank, Raptor Free Channel, 9:30 a.m. live. That's right. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe if you want. Play It Again Sue, NBA Quick Takes, other great YouTube channels you should go check out and give them a follow too. All right, y'all. Let's go Raptors and respect our legends, love our guys, and we love you, Brendan. We will miss you.